want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Yeah, we ran out of patience. Boil up with the cold hard hatred. I can feel the vibration. Feet in the streets, it's a new sensation. I wanna break faces on the pavement. I wanna make greatness look complacent. Adrenaline awakened, I can taste it. We can make an impact, grab and then take it. Like a disease, bring them to their knees. Take for there to see. Just like a wing, spread into the streets. It's time to make them bleed. 'Cause we just want retribution. Let's go light up the darkness. Make true of an empty promise. Rip gods into weak and harmless. Take to the streets and turn them to a mosh pit. 'Cause we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Yeah, we ran out of patience. Boil up with the cold hard hatred. I can feel the vibration. Feet in the streets, it's a new sensation. I wanna break faces on the pavement. I wanna make great.
All right, guys, let's get this party started. If you want a reading, be sure and visit my stand store. It is linked in the description below. And as always, we have a fair use, a disclaimer. As you come in, please hit the thumbs up, subscribe if you're not subscribed, and share the video if you like it. Let's get it going. What's going on, everybody? Good afternoon. Welcome to Astrology for Mystics. I'm your host, Jennifer Jennings. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you, Jeff, for being here and always being a support system for me. You're wonderful. Little Miss Sharon, hey, good morning, or good afternoon, rather. Deanna, Linda, hey, guys. Hey, Jill, Cat Lady, Hope Floats. Good to see you guys. Witchy Mama, hey, honey. Yeah, perfect timing. You just woke up. I slept in this morning. I felt really guilty too. I woke up and I was like, oh my God, I text Jeff immediately. I just woke up because I usually let the chickens out before 8 o'clock. And I woke up at 9. And wow, it was a good night's rest. That's all I can say. Today, I want to talk about the Silvers on the Scene video. I'm going to show a few videos. I want to start with this one because I haven't seen this video yet. It's a longer video where Seth is being interviewed about Sebastian, his birthday. So I definitely wanted to I want to get into that. I've got a few things that are on my mind, and I almost, I started to do a video and not go live today because I'm not going to be able to go live tomorrow. But I was thinking, I may just do no. This is much easier because Canva always wants to change things around, and it makes it really difficult for people like me I finally get used to an editing software and then change it on you. So, hey, and Angela, Lori, good to see you guys. Mama Marissa, hey, honey. So, yeah, I wanted to show this video first because this is what it's all about, is Sebastian Rogers. And those of us that are invested in his case, that have been supporting finding Sebastian, we're Team Seth because, we're Team Sebastian, but we are mostly on this channel. We don't straddle the fence. We've seen since day one for almost 2 years, the person that advocates and the person that doesn't. The person that was last with Sebastian, his mom, she just doesn't advocate. And so even her coming on to, a YouTube channel to talk about his birthday and to raise awareness, raise funds or whatever for autism, it's great, right? It's really good that she's done that. But at the same time, I don't know. It's disheartening to say the least that she's just now coming out. But, the parents, Seth and Katie, Chris, they're damned if they do, damned if they don't, right? Damned if they do, damned if they don't. All right, so I want to listen to this video. You guys let me know, why is the banner not staying up there? Jesus, help us, God. Show for longer than 10 seconds. Oh, it's on that's why. It's on a timer. Jesus. Timer off. Save. Okay. Look at you being a new member. Yay. Yay. Welcome to the Watchers. Welcome to the Watchers, honey. Welcome, Mandy. Thank you so much for becoming a member. Yay. I just love it. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Appreciate you. So we're going to get into this video where Seth is talking about his son, Sebastian Rogers. Here we go.
Him. Sebastian Rogers has autism and disappeared from his mother's home northeast of Nashville in February of last year. His 17th birthday was this past weekend.
Are y'all able to hear it? Because I'm hearing it really good, so I don't know if y'all are able to hear it. Let me know. Say yes or no if y'all were able to hear that. Let me know. Yes. Okay, good deal. Thank you so much for letting me know. Here we go.
Reporter Steve Mailing shows us how family and friends honored him.
For Seth Rogers, Culver's malts remind him of his son Sebastian, and the near 2 years Seth has spent searching for him.
Flyers get taken down. People sometimes think that he's been found, and he hasn't been found.
The now 17-year-old teen with autism went missing without a trace in February of 2024. And Seth has never given up hope that his son will be found.
It's my job and my duty as father, as a parent, to go down every rabbit hole I can to find my son, because at the bottom of one of those will be Sebastian.
I talked to Seth outside of the Clarksville Culvers, which gave away free malts and handed out flyers in honor of Sebastian's birthday.
This will be another birthday. It's going to be another Christmas if he's not found before then. Something that a parent never wants to actually have to go through.
Since Sebastian has been missing, Seth has led the charge in searching for his son, with calls from investigators seemingly going silent as time passes.
I've put over 36,000 miles on my truck in Leeds. I feel like I'm the only parent out here looking for my son. And that's sad. That's sad for my son to have been staying someplace and living somewhere where those people aren't even looking for him.
Leads that have taken him to Virginia, Ohio, Kentucky, Mississippi, and a handful of other states. It's an investigation he wants the FBI to take control of, a request he feels has fallen on deaf ears.
They may not like me saying it, but I'm invested. It's my son. They're not. It's just another person to them. I refuse to accept that.
He wants the community to continue to keep their eyes open, pass out flyers, and help him bring his son home safe.
If you are seeing this, Sebastian, phone number is still the same. Call me. I will come and pick you up. I don't care where you're at. If I got to get a boat, I'll come pick you up, son. I'm looking for you, and I won't stop until I find you. I love you, boy, and I will.
I love you, boy. When he says that, and I will always love you, that's heartbreaking right there. Whew.
Find you. I love you, boy, and I will always love you.
That was Steve Mailing reporting. The FBI is offering a $50,000 reward for information leading to Sebastian's whereabouts. Sebastian.
Bless his heart. Oh. Extremely disheartening. Another birthday. So what we're going to do now is I want to go over the video that I'm not going to show the whole video with Silver's on the scene. I'm sure that you guys have seen this video. If you haven't, check it out. Definitely check it out. And I want to make this clear before I even start talking about this, is that I'm very grateful that anyone is going to be searching for Sebastian anywhere, high and low, deceased, alive. I'm very grateful that I'm a part of an army that doesn't want to let go, that is invested emotionally. And I'm very grateful that that Silver's on the scene, comes from where he lives, makes videos, comes out here and looks for Sebastian. I just want to make sure that that you guys are given another perception, a way to look at this, okay? Because this area, the area that is, at the cemetery, where the pond is, where the lady was searching along the tree line, that area has changed quite a bit. It's changed quite a bit, and it's going to, because if you don't live here in Tennessee, and even for those that do live in Tennessee, you may not be aware of any type of flooding events because you may not live in a flood area. Yeah, Silver's on the scene is great. He's great. Talked to him several times on the phone. We've talked via text. And it's this area that he's digging. And I want you to take note of the different mounds, the clay, is prominent here in Tennessee. In Tennessee, our soil, there's a lot of clay. Like where we live, where Jeff and I live, this whole area was probably underwater at some point in time because there's a lot of creek rock. So we live in an area that's surrounded by creeks. And when we have heavy rains, those creeks get to going, and sometimes they may look like a river. You know, any type of flash flooding that we're getting, and Hendersonville does get flash flooding. We have had, I would say, 3 good flooding events since Sebastian went missing. And what it does is the heavy rains will push the water, and it ends up looking like you've got a big old lump of dirt that's just been dumped there. But in all reality, there are definitely times where that dirt isn't, it's not because somebody just dumped it there. It's because of the flooding events. Because when that water gets to going, like I said, these creeks, this is Drake's Creek. And Drake's Creek has flooded big time since Sebastian's been missing. I think that there was like a week later after Sebastian went missing, there was heavy rain. We got heavy rain again so we had heavy rain in March of 2024. We had a complete flood event in September of 2024. Then again in March of 2025. So we have had a considerable amount of rain. Considerable, I mean, it's a lot of rain. So I want to make sure that we're all on the same page when it comes to, the terrain. And not only that, the search for Sebastian Rogers, we have to keep in the back of our mind, right? We've got to keep in the back of our mind that the terrain isn't going to be the same. So where Beach High School is, that area has flooded too. And Mom Boss Mayo, when she searched, the terrain is completely different. And when she searched, she mentioned a strange smell coming from a spot. Nothing, she couldn't describe it. She didn't describe it. It just, you could tell that it didn't seem normal to her. She said that she was going to call the law enforcement. And because of Mob Crew's light video with lights going toward now the cemetery and the school, I'm assuming is what led Silvers on the Scene to go out to this area and to start digging. And so when she was live streaming, like I said, she smelled something strange. But this is where I started thinking, because I remember seeing her. Like, I remember her, she remembers me, type of thing, because we were covering Sebastian's case on YouTube, on TikTok, live streaming. Well, most everybody was live streaming. I wasn't. I was too busy being serious and not even thinking about doing any type of live streaming, So since the day Sebastian's been missing, the flooding events that have affected creeks, drainage ditches, retention ponds all across Sumner County. And like I said, the major one in September, it was it forced all kinds of school closures. And so here in Tennessee, we do get a lot. And when we do get a lot of rain, we have tons of ravines, tons of creeks. We have hollers out here, And anybody that lives in this area, especially near creeks, especially near Beach High School, down to Drake's Creek, then you know that not one, one single storm is going to change that landscape. So even if you just had, you know, even if you just had the one storm, because water doesn't just sit in one place, it moves, it shifts the soil, it drags debris, and it can completely alter what the ground looks like just a few months later. So the ground doesn't this area doesn't look anything like it did when Sebastian went missing. The clay is going to hold the water too. It's going to compact it, and after rain it becomes thick and sticky, because clay soil doesn't drain like the loose soil will. And living near a pond myself, living near creeks, there are times I'll tell Jeff it just stinks so bad because the water is just standing. It's standing, it's just standing still. Yeah, Tennessee we have rough terrains, we do. We really do. So I'm not saying that that is what she smelled, but I'm saying that that is definitely a possibility because when I was watching the live, when I was watching him dig, that's exactly what I was thinking is this area has been changed. It's been changed by flooding events. And so as we continue, hoping for answers in Sebastian's case, I just think it's important for us to consider the role that nature plays. All of these theories that Chris, Mob Crew, and everybody is, that's great. It's great that we are talking about these theories. It's just that I want to make sure that we understand and all on the same page because the theory with him being here because of a smell or a possible light, if the law enforcement didn't catch the lights and they definitely, had dogs, they had boats, they had all kinds of, other agencies from different places. If they didn't find anything, the footprints is what they should have found. They should have found footprints all around there. They should have found footprints of Sebastian. And they didn't. And that's where I'm really suspect. Because either Sebastian was put into a car in the middle of the night and taken out, or he didn't make it home. Those are the only two theories that are actually making sense now. Because there's no footprints. And, we have a lot of moisture here in Tennessee. There's a lot of moisture. That morning, the evening, it was a warm evening. There was a lot of moisture in the air. We had a front coming in before Sebastian went missing. I mean, after he went missing, that front actually came in. It was unseasonably warm. It wasn't freezing like people would think it is. The cool night air, yes. When he was at Texas Roadhouse, it was cool. We have the cool nights, the warmer day. I think that day it got up into the 60s or at least 260 that day. So it was unseasonably warm. Lots of moisture. They should have seen footprints everywhere. And so when they say that there's no proof that Sebastian left the house, that's why. Because there is none. There's no proof that he left the house. So either he was taken out in the middle of the night and put into a car, somebody carried him out, or he didn't make it home. So this is some of what Silver's on the Scene was playing. Let me go ahead and where's he at? Let me credit him. All right, let's watch this. I'm not going to watch much of it. I just wanted to show you what I'm talking about. So this is the retention pond. It's right next to the cemetery. And you can see that it's stagnant. Any type of wind blow any type of wind is going to blow that scent of stagnant water, and it's going to smell like decay. It's going to smell bad. In the wintertime, not so much, but it still will. It still will, because there's a lot of moisture.
From her video, and it would make sense from what we found, which was nothing. I've got a happy birthday balloon here. I'm not trying to create anything, but we're looking for Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. His birthday is tomorrow, and I'm staring at a happy birthday balloon. Now, I can't tell how old. It's pretty worn, weathered and worn. See the tag. So it's probably been here a while. Maybe someone's loved one. But that's odd.
Well, dang, Silvers, why'd you throw it back in there? Dang it. God.
That his birthday's tomorrow, and happy birthday balloon. So I'm going to cut camera, and I'll be back shortly. Stay tuned. Sebastian's neighborhood, new neighborhood cemetery. Mom boss mail, dirt mound we're digging. Tree line to his school. Okay, so one of the things I'm doing now, you can probably see my phone, is I'm locating myself directly in a straight line from Sebastian's home. So here's what I mean. Can you see on the screen? I don't know if you can see that or not. But I'm holding Google Maps and I'm walking, and it's tracking me. Because this is how my mind works, right? So if Sebastian did run out being chased, or just, hey, I'm gonna leave my house and I'm gonna go straight behind my house to my school. No turns, no twists, a straight shot. Boom, right here. So this is it. So if I turn, so you know, Sebastian Rogers' home, it's way down here. It's about right here where I'm at. So his house is straight back. Straight back. So we're almost to the church of the cemetery. But, you know, if you're looking at one of these headstones as a marker, if I went straight this way, which would be going west, across the hill, and you see that elevation Mob Crew's talked about, I would make my way to Sebastian. So if he came this way, if he did come out of his home, allegedly, and he was going this way.
But he wouldn't. Okay, let's just, he wouldn't go this way, even with shoes. You're not going to go through all that. You're not going to go through all that briar. He's not going to go through all that. That's, yeah.
He would come through the cemetery, come through this area, and you can see pretty easily. Hey, locals, you know, so I'm not going to put you on camera, and I'm not going to say your names. I'm just going to say, I'm videoing now. And so this will be, people see this. So here's what's interesting. If you turn around, you can use Martin as a guide right there. We're standing directly in a straight line from his home. So this is why I call myself Silvers on the Scene, because you have to be here to see if things come together. I think you both get that. So here's the thing. So think about this. Let's just first, you know, he came out on his own. He would come, if he was going straight to wherever he was going, say he was going to Drake's Creek. No turns or twists. He's going straight this way. We're standing in the path. But when I'm standing here, what do you think I notice? I notice a turnaround at the school where allegedly, you know, I'm just going to say this, allegedly someone turned around there. For what reason? Because if I'm there, to get to here is much easier than getting way up there. So I'm standing here and I go, what sticks out to me? That. where the car was. That's where I turned around last night.
Yeah. And did you pull into the
And we do have to keep in mind that the school has cameras.
softball complex when you did it? Or
No.
did you- okay.
That turn, I didn't go any further. What I would do, I changed it up a couple of times, but mainly right in the middle of the turn, I would stop. That puts my lights facing straight.
That's the softball. That's the softball facility. Like,
Oh, that is?
their-
Okay.
Their clubhouse, whatever.
Yeah.
So you came in right there by that
No, I,
dumpster or whatever it is.
on the other side of the dumpster, I came in.
Right here and turned.
And then when I would start headed out, I would stop at the dumpster and tap my brake lights to see if you could see. And on both of your videos, both.
Yes, Joni, he did. He did find. Sorry, guys, I'm looking at chat now. He did find, but that's what I'm talking about too. Is that when we have flooding, if you have never been in a flooding situation, if you've never seen the aftermath of a flood face to face, then you really don't know all of the stuff that will show up in one area, and it could be that it came from a mile down the road. I mean, Jeff and I walked the back creek back here, and after one of the flooding events, we had, a big, I mean, we have stuff that comes up in our creek that wasn't there before. And so after a flooding event, everything changes. The terrain, the creeks, they look completely different here. Completely different. So when I moved here 5 years ago, each flooding event that I've had has created a new pathway, because the water is a force to be reckoned with when it gets to moving. And so it will move, it will meet. I'm not saying that the blanket didn't have anything to do with it. I'm just saying, that, and we're going to see that in this video too. We're getting to it. Let me show you this. Yeah, the creek got wider and it got deeper. Sure did.
Both of them. The difference in her video was anybody looking at that screen, it's really black and dark, but you have to look at it on a phone or a computer. I was looking on an iPad, and you can see my headlights and taillights coming in, headlights and taillights leaving on both your videos. Now, when I say, can you see are my lights on or off? And you said, no, they're off. You were right, because your video was much lighter, but still dark. So that Osmo camera is the best camera to do what we're trying to do.
This one or this one?
That's the ET one, the one you videoed 17 and a half minutes of stuff
Now that I
that
know how to work it.
17 and a half minutes.
No, honey, he didn't find anything. He found an old balloon. Looked like it had been weathered by the sun for some time. He found a balloon. That was it.
The stuff that we didn't need. I'll be right back.
And it just so happened to be a happy birthday balloon. That's the only thing that
So
I know.
Silver's on the scene. Here we are. We got the mount.
Okay, now look at that. I want you to see all of that. This is what I'm talking about, guys. This is what I'm talking about. This is what the water can do. It can move dirt. Like one of our creeks, when I go over the bridge, I love it. It's my most favorite. But since the last flood that we had, the last big flood that we had when Jeff wasn't home, he was out of town at work. And we had a really big, had a pretty good flooding event. And now the creek, when we go over the bridge, one of my favorite creeks to look at, all the water going, now there's just this big old heaping mound. And now, after so long, trees, brush has started growing there. So I'm just saying, it just changes. The landscape changes big time. Any trash, any debris, it's going to be pushed to another place. Fences come down,
And I believe, gosh, I get her name, Mom Boss Mate.
See how that it used to be back here when Sebastian went missing, the blacktop wasn't there. This was all dirt. This was just a dirt pathway. But now they have put a blacktop on it. They created a road. So this wasn't even here when Sebastian went missing. It looks completely different.
Right here, these are all these mounds you saw. We're speaking with a groundskeeper here, and he gave us some insight as far as, you know, these are freshly dirt, but see the grass that's there, and between those would be ones that have been here. Think about it like this. So if you got
Exactly. So all of that is new. All of that dirt. It's not like, you know, we're looking at burial plots. And you can see where the water would go. And then all of that debris that would push all of that debris up against, you know, other trees. That's what happens. I mean, it's
gotta,
easy.
I'll walk up on here and give you more description. Just, you know, just to educate myself and everybody watching. So like, this is definitely excess dirt from, you know, a grave.
Look. So when he shows this, that's evidence, isn't it, Jeff? This is exactly what you would expect after a flooding event. This is exactly what you would expect. All of the debris gets pushed up to a tree. Sure does. All of that, that's what you would expect. It's not that somebody dumped that there. It was pushed up.
Popping, and a lot of steel, like from a fence, but there's nothing in there. Checked it from the bottom. This tree looks like a good tree. You could climb and make a good tree house in here, but this is just in the back of the cemetery. We're in the back now, near the Ward Lane, where the back gate is. Also, a battery died earlier, and I was talking about those mounds. So when you see the mounds like this excess dirt, and as long as there's no grass in, you know, growing, then that means they're fresh. But if it has grass growing out of it, then they've probably been there for, you know, several months or, you know, even longer. So that's how you determine. So if you're looking at those mounds and if it's fresh and it's just been a month or two ago, you're good. But if it's been 649 days, then you're looking for grass growing. Okay, future knowledge for everyone. Let me get out of this.
I mean, that's what I basically wanted to show you guys is how the terrain has changed. And so he's going to look from the other angle.
December 6, 2025. You're currently looking at Sebastian's high school field. So looking for Sebastian Rogers, say his name, Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. Been missing 649 days today. Tomorrow is his 17th birthday. Say his name, Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. Where is Sebastian? So where am I? Hendersonville, Tennessee. Let me give you the coordinates. So I'm standing north side. So this would be looking.
Again, this right here was the blacktop wasn't there. And they've created a new, like a pathway.
West. That's the new neighborhood. The next neighborhood over would be Sebastian's neighborhood. The cemetery here, and as you come across through this way, you're headed east.
And see, there's the pond. You can see the pond, the retention pond there.
To where you have his high school, and then you'll have the storage building and washrooms that way. So the football field, probably right in the middle of the football field to me, would be a half a mile from his home. Okay, this is Beach Cemetery. You have the pond there. So then if you turn and face north, a car, but then go back this road and you'll come to Ward Lane, which, by the way, today, Ward Lane, the gate, as you probably saw on the mob crew, that last night was closed, locked, has a code. It's a lock with a code. You have to have a code to get in. That was open today, but here's the thing. Take a look at this. You have two graves, this one and this one. And today, those are being dug. Okay, those are being dug for the, unfortunate someone has passed, and those are being dug for their funeral coming up. Rest in peace. So, but what I'm showing you, as you can tell from my video, it's starting to get dark. It is, I think it's like 4:30 now. Saturday, December 6th. Tomorrow's Sebastian's birthday, December 7th. He'll be 17. Happy birthday, Sebastian. Get to Culver's in Clarksville, Culver's in Hendersonville to celebrate his birthday if you'd like to do that. Sebastian, if you're seeing this, reach out, tell someone your name. Say, I'm Sebastian Rogers. Help me.
So this is, I thought that this would be a good one to talk about because of the way that everything has changed, the way that the terrain has changed, and just, remind everybody that the flooding that takes place here in Tennessee completely changes. It just does. It changes the landscape. And we just got to keep that in mind. Got to keep that in mind, guys. So appreciate him for doing everything that he does to keep Sebastian's name out there, his face out there, and talking about him and coming out here doing the work, putting in the work. He is so passionate, Hope. He is so passionate. And the whole landscape has changed. It doesn't look anything like it did when he went missing. And we just got to keep that in mind, that we have had a lot of flooding. And like Silvers on the Scene was saying, it was starting to get dark. It gets dark at 4:30, 5 o'clock. So by the time they left the roadhouse, by the time he took the trash out, we have to also keep that in mind. We have to keep that in mind that he, that was dark. It was dark. Not like it was the summertime, don't get dark till 8 o'clock. No, it was dark at 4:30, 5 o'clock. He took the trash out. It was dark. It was dark. So here's the other thing that I thought that would be a good one to show besides the map, because I want to show you guys the map again. Let me share that screen as well with Sebastian's home. And so this is where he was. Let me turn on the missing. This is from leaving his home. And so here is the stadium. I mean, here's the Beach High School. Here is the pond. Here's the pond. And let me show you something. There is Silvers on the scene. There he is. Michael, Silvers on the scene, shines with law enforcement, with relationships, with two or more. It's about communications. Jupiter in Libra angle is where he meets Sebastian with groups. Okay. So the map tells the story. And this is what I want you to take from this. The maps that I create are past, present, and future. So when Sebastian went missing, did we know who Silvers on the Scene was? No. Did I have his birthday? No. Did I have his time of birth? No. Nope. Had he been here before this video? No. I want you to understand that the maps that I create work, but we have to work them. We have to work them. This is not a hot spot for me. It wasn't a hot spot for me because I've been out there and it was this area that I was mostly concerned about. Right here, where the manholes are. Where the manholes were. They're now covered. They don't look anything like they did when Sebastian went missing. When Sebastian went missing, this new construction area had big areas where me and a bunch of people could fit in it at the same time. They were big. And so my hypothesis was if we don't find him here, then we have to look in where the storm water would be rushing and rush him out. Where would that be? Along here. We would start here. Actually, yeah, we would start around here. Let me see where my hot spots are. Where I start here. And look, there's Silver's on the scene too. Okay? Remember this. There he is again. There he is again. If you were to find anything of evidentiary value, and I've told him this, go here. It's right here. Start here. So this is where my hypothesis began, is go here, start here with a big search team and clear this area. Okay. And it's a big area to, you know, this is a big area to go through. So we go through this creek because this is where all that storm water, that Russian water that I was just talking about. This is where it's going to be going, guys. So look, we go, we follow it down. It's going around here. There's a little bend here. This is where stuff is going to get stuck. I promise you guys, I've been through floods. I know. I've looked for an ex-boyfriend in flood. He was deceased in a flood. We finally found him. So the bend is going to be a good area too. I'm surprised I don't have a hot spot there because this is also, let me see what this is. Okay, maybe that's why. So we keep on coming down the creek area. We're following the creek because this is eventually going to go to the Cumberland. I've got a hot spot here. Look, Silver's on the scene is here. This is where he has disordered aggression. Lots of disordered aggression here. I would not suggest this area for him to go to. It's completely transforming for him on this line. I've seen how this line works. All we've got to do is go back to Stephen Crabtree when he was in the Mansker Creek, when I asked him to go there, and he thought that he found some stuff. And the dark moon is in a line that I've learned through trial and error not to send anybody on there. Don't go to your dark moon. So it comes around and it keeps on going. Keeps on going. Drake's Creek is keep on going. And right here is another area. This is right by Texas Roadhouse. Right by Texas Roadhouse. Again, we've got the dark moon. I would not suggest Silver's on the scene being here, but he's a grown man. He's going to do what he wants to do when he wants to do it. So I'm not his mama, but I'm just, saying, I would be cautious right there. And then of course I've got another one, and this is this bend right here that I would be most interested in by the Hendersonville Greenway, because this area I've just showed you, like I literally just showed you Drake's Creek area. This flooded bad. This area flooded bad in September. So we wouldn't have a team just walking the creek. We have to walk the bank too, outside of the creek, because those creeks widened. They widened with a lot of rushing water. It's fierce. It's fierce. Okay, so then we have the railroad track here. The railroad goes over the creek. Okay, and then we keep on coming down. Keep on coming down. There's the Greenway. What you're seeing now is that picture that I was just showing you, and all of this was flooded. It's flooded several times, and it was really bad in September of 2024. So we keep on coming down, and you can see that I've got another one, and it's right here on this bend or this bend. Okay, and this is what is going into the Cumberland. All right. So I just wanted to say that if we could ever get a huge group together, I would be willing, Jeff and I would be willing to, because if he is deceased, this is the only area that I think he could be found in. Could I be wrong? Of course. But I've looked at this map, looked at it and looked at it and looked at it and dissected it. And this is the only, it would be the only thing that makes sense. Is if those manholes, those big ass open manholes, if somehow he went in those, whether he was put in there, whatever, just saying. I don't think so, because there was no scent, there's no evidence. So I don't think so. But if somebody really thinks that they need to search the area, Dolly wants to talk about how everybody needs to search while he's sitting in his home. Well, Dolly, this is the area that you need to search. Knock yourself out. But it's going to take a big group of people to be committed to walking this area, not just the creek area, but the Outer Bank. Okay. So I wanted to make sure that we talked about that before I get on to the next segment that I want to talk about. So what do you guys think so far? Give me some feedback. What do y'all think so far with what I've shown? Do you understand the map and how the map works? Do y'all have any questions about that? Do you have any questions about the mapping? Yeah, I think that that's more plausible now after what we know from the law enforcement. What exactly is the dark moon? It's disordered regression. So all you got to do, Joni, if you know who Crabtree is, if you remember him going to Mansker Creek and getting upset and continuously talking about Mansker Creek, that's the dark moon. That is the way that the dark moon expresses itself. And so it's a lot of aggression, disordered aggression that you really don't know where to put it. You think that you find something, but you may not. You think that what you've got is great evidence, but it may not be. And it can arise a lot of feelings inside of you to push you forward. A lot of feelings inside of you to push you forward. So that's all you got to do is look at Crabtree with the Mansker Creek area. That's the dark moon. And when he was asking for places to search, I asked him to go there. I'd never seen what it looked like when somebody searched a dark moon. Now I do know, and I don't suggest it. Trial and error. You know, I'm an observer. I'm a watcher. I'm going to observe. So I just don't think so. Have they done a scan on the job site at St. Jude? I would say absolutely not. They haven't done much. I would say absolutely not, but what do I know? I don't know. Yeah, the map is a good thing because when you can see it, when you can see the expressions of these geometric angles, okay, because you have geometric angles in your birth chart, in the missing event, any type of event, you're going to have these geometric angles that are expressing themselves. Well, when we put it on the Earth's terrain, we can see behavior. Now we can see the chart coming to life on the Earth's terrain. It's cool. It's cool. This is a very innovative. It's not like I'm, go here, go there, go here, go there. I mean, I am, because all you got to do, you don't even have to follow the lines. You don't have to understand anything about astrology. Go to the hot spot, go there and search. Don't even worry about the lines. Keep the lines off. You know what I'm saying? Just keep the lines off. Don't worry about them. Go to where the hot spots are. Work there. Go there. And when I go to a search area after I've mapped it, and Jeff can tell you he's seen it in action. After I have mapped a case and we go and we become boots on the ground, we go to our hotspots. We go to my hotspots. And there's generally not ever a time that you're not going to go to one of my hotspots and have something to really talk about. So just saying, just saying. I would hope so, because who shows up to work hours early to nap in the parking lot before going to work? You know, I don't know what all Chris did, what he didn't do, but I do know that there's a lot of things that are suspect with their script. When they come off the script, things get hairy, right? When they're just going through the script, they're good. But once they, inject their own opinion or whatever into that script, that's where they lose it. They lose all credit and respect for me. No doubt about it. But see, this area that I was just showing you on the map, this happened in September 2024. So this is 7 months after he went missing. But a week after he went missing, we had heavy torrential downpours. It wouldn't have flooded like this, but it still would have pushed debris. It would have pushed the stormwater. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah, they did. They sure did, Nicole. They used the verbiage seemed to disappear without a trace. I took that to mean law enforcement now knows how he disappeared. It's like they were throwing down a gauntlet to the guilty. Yeah, could be. I love you being in here. I love you being in here. Yeah, I mean, to not be here when Sebastian went missing, he knows a lot. He knows a lot. He knows a lot about the cameras. He knows all kinds of stuff. And speaking of, while we're on that subject, let's just go ahead and look at this. Let's look at this. Let's look at this, guys. Let me turn this timer off. I want to create this timer. Jesus. Okay, let's look at this one now. Let me change ad screen, do this, do that. Jesus. This is from Web Sleuths. This is from Web Sleuths. I've got the transcript on. I don't have the chat on, but I do have the transcript just in case you can't hear it. You're working or whatever and you just want to read it. But let's listen to this for a second. Let's listen to this for just a second. Let's come back. Let's come back to reality here. This was done April 27th, 2024. So just 2 months after Sebastian vanished like a Houdini. Maybe the aliens took him. We've yet to talk about that theory too, right? I mean, Jesus, y'all. Did the aliens come and get him? Like, how is there no proof that he left the house? Law enforcement. Thank you, me and you. Thank you, honey. All right.
Not ready for certain things.
Okay. So he was
So
going to go.
I'm not going to set my son up for failure. I want my son to succeed.
He was going to homeschool until he was ready to go back to regular school. Is that what you're saying?
Correct. And it's not really homeschool. I mean, it's just online school.
Okay. Online. Right. Online school. That's a better term. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said
Third-party
homeschool. Right. Online
Yeah.
school. Totally different.
Really quick, Chris, the day that they had on Sunday with the spaghetti pancakes and bragging to family and BJ's and Texas Roadhouse and bowling and all of these, like, it sounds like the best day ever. Was that like a normal weekend for them, or was it like, I don't know. Was that like their normal weekend?
Right. Well, do me a favor. Let's pause that question because you just diverted away from what she asked, and let's clear this.
Yeah, he's got to divert. So she asked a valid question. Chloe's asking a valid question. Was this a normal weekend? But he doesn't want to answer it. He wants to pause. They started talking about online school, and I guess he just wanted to stay on that subject with the online school. He didn't want to answer if this was a normal weekend.
This out.
Okay.
Go
'Cause
ahead.
we
Chris.
want the facts. Let's get the facts straight.
Okay.
So yes, I did tell you Sebastian was not excited about going to his father's house because online school.
Online
Seth
school.
was aware of this because Seth stood in my house with me, Katie, and Sebastian in my kitchen and had this conversation where
And see, this is another thing too. It's his house. It's his kitchen. It's all about him. Not our house, my kitchen. Okay, Chris. Good to know. Thank you for clarifying.
Seth asked his son about, you don't want to go to online school? And Sebastian's retort was, no, I don't. But
Okay.
I don't really care about playing tit for tat. I understand that this may be a reason why he wanted to run away, so to speak, if that's the case.
Right.
Okay. So maybe he wanted to run away because he didn't want to do online schooling. So he runs away with no shoes. Okay. No evidence that he left the home. It's not the math ain't math in here. I know it's not jiving. Ain't making no sense.
But we're not going into this. We're not going to play this tit for tat
Man,
on social media. We're not doing this.
Okay. Seth.
But you are. We're not doing this, Chris, but you are doing it. You were up on the panel before before Seth ever came up there. You're definitely doing it. You haven't stopped doing it. Tit for tat is what you want to play. It's a game. I know he just can't. He can't speak without looking bad. The red flags are just everywhere.
Go ahead.
Chris, unbeknownst to you, had already talked to Sebastian. He knew this wouldn't be a permanent thing. And me and him had already spoke.
Well, that right
After
there's a
the
conversation
and
you should have had with
we had
Katie and
already
myself
spoke.
about what your plans were.
Why? I thought y'all had plans. Would that have changed anything if you knew? Chris, would that have changed anything?
I'm sorry, do you want?
Say that one more time. I'm sorry.
What Seth was saying is that if I had known the conversation that him and Sebastian had, then I would know the whole thing. But the downside is that's where Seth should have had that same conversation with me and Katie, and that didn't happen. But this goes right back to here's the thing. If you're
Here's the thing, Chris, would that have changed anything?
saying that because
Okay, Princess, we'll see you, girl. I don't know who the hell you are. That's such a Chris Proudfoot team. Yeah, thank you, Mama Marissa. That's such a Chris Proudfoot team talk. The racist BS. You always know when you're doing something right because the trolls come in. Wow. Yeah, Sebastian didn't run away. If he did, I wouldn't blame him a bit. But I'm just saying, this right here, well, you should have told me and Katie. You should have told me and Katie. Would that have changed anything, Chris? Yeah, not today, Satan. Not today. He's saying Seth should have had that same conversation with me and Katie, and that didn't happen. And this goes right back to, here's the thing. If you're saying that because he didn't want to go live with his dad, he potentially ran away. Is that a possibility? Sure. We'll put that out there.
Because he didn't want to go live with his dad, he potentially ran away. Is that a possibility? Sure. We'll put that out there.
Okay.
But quite honestly, what goes on between Seth, me, his mom, and our households is none of the public's business. If it had something to do with his disappearance, I would understand that, but it doesn't.
Well, we don't know that.
Well, I understand that. That's why we're making this clear.
And that's
Right.
why I asked about his day, because I
Let's
didn't
go back
know.
to the day. Okay, go
I
ahead,
didn't
Miguel.
know. Okay, so Chris, you don't know me very well. I have 2 decades of experience working with autistic children in different capacities. So I do understand they are all different. I do understand that that day may have been very overstimulating for him. So that's why I was asking if that was a normal day for him. And if it wasn't, that just gives me more information that maybe he was very overstimulated that day.
Chris?
All right, so one more time, I'm so sorry.
It's really not that difficult to answer. It's a yes or a no. Yes, it's a normal weekend, or no, it's not. It's very simple. So now that she has come back to the question, he's scooting.
I was just saying, in my experience with autistic children, obviously they're all different. But if this was not a normal day for Sebastian on Sunday when he went and did all of these things, and it sounds like he was gone from home for a while, if this wasn't a normal day for him, would this have been an overstimulating day for him? Is this something normal? Does he normally go to BJ's and bowling and all of these things on a weekend? Or was this kind of like a special thing? And if it was a special thing, what caused it to be special? Was there an occasion?
If it was a special thing, a mother and a son bonding and just having a good time.
I'm not being ugly at all.
I'm not. I'm making this.
Is this a normal day for them on a weekend? For them to do all
our days fluctuate. Monday through Friday, we're a working family, just like everybody else out there. And when the weekend comes, that's when you get a lot of stuff done. You go a lot of places, you do a lot of things. And a lot of times that's where, you go and spend time with your kids and do extra things. Sebastian's not in sports like most kids. So we don't spend ball time at the ballpark. When Seth has Sebastian on the weekends, he goes and does fishing and things like that with Sebastian just as well.
Chris, it's a yes or a no. Yes, this is typical weekend. Why do you have to just, it's a yes or a no. Yes, it was a normal weekend. No, it wasn't.
Seth works long hours. I work long hours.
And I'm not saying any of that is suspicious.
Come on, Chris. You going to answer it? Let's see if he does.
Suspicious at all, Chris. I'm just asking if that was normal, because if it wasn't normal and he was overstimulated, that could be a reason for him to have ran out of the house.
No.
Okay.
He was not overstimulated.
Okay, so that wasn't one.
He wasn't overstimulated. How do you know, Chris? How do you know that he was not overstimulated? How do you know that? Answer the question. Was this a normal weekend or not? We have been asking this for a long time. And it definitely would have been overstimulating for anybody, much less somebody that's got autism. I can't go into a place and not be overstimulated. I go and pick my granddaughter up from daycare, and it's or preschool. It's stimulating.
One of the possible reasons for him to leave.
Here's what I'll say. Everything is on the table. Nothing has been taken off the table. Period.
So he doesn't answer it. He's not answering it. Word salad. Word salad.
Period. That's the same statement law enforcement has made. That's the same statement I'm going to tell you
So
every
there's a
single day in and
possibility
day out.
Katie gave my son to your mother and father. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say that.
Say it one more time.
Do you not want to say that? Well, we can move on. So
No. I want to hear it.
There's a rumor out there, Chris,
That
that your mom and your dad have Sebastian. It's been brought up to me.
Seth, you know darn good and well you got a question about my
I'm just
mother.
asking.
You pick up the
Did they
phone
take him
and
somewhere
you call
to
her.
like a boot camp or anything like that? And Katie just thought I wouldn't accept it.
I don't think
Hold
Seth
on.
is being accusatory. I think he's just trying to clear up a bunch of BS that's been online.
Right. And I'm trying, and I'm telling you, if he's had this suspicion, he's got my mother's phone number. He can pick up the phone and call her. She is not afraid to
No,
answer any
Chris, I'm not
questions.
saying you. I don't want to talk to your mom. I want to talk to you, and I want to talk to Katie.
Well, it's real simple,
Just
Seth.
asking to put it to the rest.
Why would he call your mother? He's asking you, Chris, since you seem to have all the answers. He's asking you. About your mama.
You have seen the video footage of Seth
haven't.
on Sunday. Don't tell me you hadn't. I know you have. You sat in the room
No, I
with all
haven't.
the agents.
No, they didn't show me the video footage, buddy.
So you didn't see, you weren't sitting in a room
Wait a
with
minute.
law enforcement, the district attorney, when they showed you a video, when you wanted proof of life, saying that you hadn't seen proof since Friday. When you've been at my house the first 3 damn days.
Sunday, buddy.
Chris, let Seth speak. Go ahead, Seth.
Chris, they showed me video proof of him coming out of Texas Roadhouse on Sunday.
On a Sunday night. You damn right.
Just Chris.
Seth, I got a problem with you sitting here making these accusations. Because if you got a problem with them, guess what?
Let's squash it.
I think we're just trying to talk things.
When does Chris not get pissed, though? I mean, it's very rare that we have seen him speak without being pissed off. And here is where I want to stop it. And I want to bring us all together to have a come to Jesus meeting. Because all these people, and they're very few, y'all know who I'm going to be talking about, think that they should be working together. Could you work with somebody like this to try to find your kid? No, absolutely not. Seth has more strength, more courage than Chris will ever have. She literally downgraded when she married Chris. It's a total downgrade. He doesn't answer the question at all. If it was a normal weekend, he didn't answer it. He skated around it. I think if it was a normal weekend, he would have said it. Oh, yeah, that's what they're always going on the weekends. But he didn't answer it. It would be very difficult. It was very difficult in the very beginning to work with Chris and Katie for Seth to find his son. And if you are getting the heebie-jeebies and you're being talked to in a demeaning way, are you going to work with that person? Are you going to want to continuously talk to that person? When Dolly acts like that they should be working together, when anybody acts like that they should be working together, they're literally not using not one brain cell. Not one. And that's my opinion, and I have the right to voice it.
Things out, and I don't even know if this should be public, honestly.
Same.
Okay, here's all the public knowledge you need on this deal. Law enforcement has talked to my parents, my whole family.
Okay, so have the law enforcement searched their car, searched their house, bank accounts, devices? They talked to him. Whoop-de-doo. They could talk to me too.
Once again, the statement is true, what law enforcement says. Just because you hear a rumor doesn't make it true.
Chris,
Once again, the statement is true, what law enforcement says. Just because you hear a rumor doesn't make it true. Chris, we wasn't born yesterday. Yeah, why was it even a rumor?
I think he said it was true. I think he's just trying to clarify.
He said
That's not clarifying. No, stop sitting here trying to defend his actions. Stop.
Okay.
The fact is, Chris, is I'm trying to squash the rumor. We're both here. Squash.
We're both here. I'm trying to squash the rumor publicly. And instead of Chris thinking that this would be a good thing, because now they're working together, and let's squash the rumors together. Be a front. But Chris isn't following because he's goof. I mean, he's just, I don't know. He's too busy defending.
Squashing the rumor.
Seth, there is no rumor. You know my parents were not.
Yes, there is a rumor. There is still a rumor. And it was 5 or 6 different people after Sebastian went missing that saw Cruella at Warsham's. They don't even know each other. So it was posts that people screenshotted. Just like Terry Bowersox Jr. We all screenshotted where he said that Chris was a piece of shit and that he probably had something to do with it. We all screenshotted that too. That wasn't a rumor. That wasn't a rumor. It was something that someone said that is their opinion. It's not a rumor that he literally posted that. We've got screenshots of it. We have screenshots of people saying that they saw her at Warsham's that morning. Exactly. His level of anger and yes, the potential for violence turns on in an instant. Not good. It's just not good. The true colors are definitely are shown. Yeah, and she was up and gone to Alaska. And that's, that's where, hey, from Sebastian's home and even from the Texas Roadhouse, Alaska, who is looking for Sebastian in Alaska? Dolly, can you got so much money. Can you go there? Can you go to Alaska? Check it out. Let us know. That'd be great. Be great. Anybody that wants to search for Sebastian, boots on the ground, you might want to get outside of that neighborhood. You know, you may want to get outside that neighborhood because if what the law enforcement said is true, Chris, that means that they have no proof that your stepson left that house, your house. That's what the law enforcement said, and that's a fact. They said it. April has just hit a user that you've blocked. Who was that? April, who was that? Because I've got them blocked already. I love it when people that I've blocked come in the chat. That's hilarious. Okay. So the rumor about Kathy, it was not a rumor. People literally posted that. What was their name? Okay, thank you. Thank you, April. Okay, gotcha.
With Katie on Sunday.
That's all I'm doing, Chris.
No, you're causing a problem because you know damn good.
No, Chris. The problem is Sebastian being missing.
Well, where my parents were at their house on Sunday night. They weren't near Katie. They weren't near Sebastian. And if you got a problem,
how do you know?
all you got to do is pick up the phone and call her. Be an adult. Be a responsible adult. And just call her.
Chris. Can you hear me, Chris?
Oh, hey, Mrs. Bowersox. Hey, I was just wondering if you happened to see Sebastian. If there was anything, were you involved? Because, actually, were you at Worsham's? Does anybody know where you were? I mean, is she going to be honest? Yeah, yes, Seth, I took your son. And he's here. You can go here and find him. Let's be an adult here, Chris. Let's use some logic. The hell are we? I mean, are we in the Twilight Zone here? She's going to admit it? Like you're going to admit knowing where Sebastian could be? No. He's already gotten the heebie-jeebies from you. He's already feeling that you're not on the up and up, man. We are definitely hitting some nerves, aren't we, Hope Floats?
Chris?
Oh, I can hear you.
Because all I'm hearing is anger and attitude from you. What I'm trying
and you should, Seth. You should. Because what you're doing is bullshit, and you know it.
Okay, stop.
Okay,
People are
right,
talking
enough.
over each other.
Enough.
Seth, go, and then Chris, go. Please, Seth, and then Chris. Thank you.
Chris, a unified front squashes rumors together. That's all I am.
But Seth, he wasn't even thinking about that. He wasn't thinking about a front, a unified front. He wasn't thinking about any of that. He's too emotional. I do too, Bliss Blessing. I feel bad. Jeez. If he can't hold his shit together, and this is the reason why Chris had to take those behavioral classes. He just doesn't express his emotions like an adult should. He needs some therapy for real.
Stating.
Okay, Chris.
This is a rumor floating around, and I would like us to squash it.
Yeah, I think that is a great rumor to try to squash. That one's on Facebook, and the rumor is actually that about your mom, her car being parked at like Worsham's, and him getting
Okay,
into.
so here's the
Chris,
answer, the final answer to
It's
this.
not just an online rumor because people have driven up to me and personally spoken
yeah.
about this.
Okay,
right.
ladies and gentlemen, can I make the statement?
I wish
This is very simple. This conversation has nothing to do on social media. You want to have this conversation, Seth? You
If you're going to be a front goofball in the public eye and you're going to be up on panels, yeah, this is a conversation that should be public. Either your mom was at Warsham's or she wasn't. Either this was a normal weekend or it wasn't.
call me, you get Heather, you get Chloe on the phone.
That's
Hell,
fine.
I'll do you one better, and
Right.
I will get Bobby and Carter on the phone, and we'll all sit down and have this little fucking powwow.
So now we got to get Bobby and Carter on the phone and have a powwow about your mama being seen at Warsham's. I mean, see, Seth is trying to be cool, calm, and collected here, being a front, squashing rumors, and Chris is just going down like off the deep end. Yeah, pissy pants. Jesus, man. Like, where is the adult? Well, you've got the host that's trying to be an adult and trying to. This is stressful. This was April 27th, 2024. Exactly, Pink Butterfly. Sunday night ain't 5:45 a.m. in the morning. But
We're not going to have a powwow like that. But I
Well,
would
then guess what?
the situation, and I would love for it to be private because I believe a lot of what is happening right now should not be public.
So explain to me why you don't want Bobby and Carter involved.
I didn't say I didn't want Bobby and Carter involved. I said I was referring to your tone, which is very angry.
Oh, I'm very pissed.
I know that. I think we just all need to take a breath because no one is accusing anyone of anything. We are trying to dispel things because in turn, dispelling these things will
You're
take
so full of
some
shit.
of the BS.
Did y'all hear him? He said, "You're so full of shit." Did y'all hear that?
Very pissed.
I know that. I think we just all need to take a breath because no one is accusing anyone of anything. We are trying to dispel things because in turn, dispelling these things will
You're
take
so full of
some
shit.
of the BS off
Y'all hear
of
that?
you.
Whoa. That was
Yeah, that was uncalled for. Because he doesn't know how to be respectful, calm, and debate. When you grow up, you have to control. You have to learn how to speak. Be respectful. There's some things that he wants public. There's some things that he doesn't want public. All Seth is trying to do is to dispel the rumor, but he takes it to a whole nother level. There could never be Seth Rogers and Chris Proudfoot working together to find Sebastian. And if you don't see that, you have no brain cells. And I mean that.
Some of the BS off of you.
whoa. That was uncalled for. And Chris, I mean, I do understand your anger, but I know these ladies. I don't know Seth. I just know what I've seen. But these ladies are not full of shit.
I didn't say they're full of shit. I was referring to Seth being full of shit with his comments.
Well, you know what? I think you're full of shit for not answering a damn simple question. I think you're full of shit. You can't answer a simple question. Rose, we don't have discussions like that. Please be respectful. Whatever your theory is, that's fine. But when it comes to things like that, that opinion isn't welcomed here. You can think that, that's fine. You can have that opinion, just don't put it in chat. If it was your child, you wouldn't want to see people's opinion that's not, that takes away all the hope that they have. So please, let's be respectful. I appreciate each and everybody being here. Even the trolls. I do. I appreciate it. Just, let's try to be respectful. Because if not, you'll be timed out or even removed.
Well, that doesn't help matters.
No, it doesn't. So when you brought him on the show and he wants to start this shit, that isn't going to answer questions.
So when you brought him on the show, is that what it is, Chris? Because Seth is now up there with you. Brought him on the show and he wants to start this. Okay. No, you started it way before this, honey. Way before this.
It's going to spiral into the shit it's in. So we can set this shit aside and answer the questions that you got.
Okay. I would like to move on very quickly, but I will say the public opinion is not going to improve unless we can take a deep breath.
That's exactly right.
And I know you are frustrated.
You have no idea what I am.
I'm not saying I know
You
how
don't.
frustrated you are.
Yeah, we do. The proof is in the pudding with your behavior. And I've said it since day one, their behavior is evidence to me. Anybody's behavior should be an evident. You're either, yeah, there are too many cooks in the kitchen in this recording. I agree. The PI should have let Chris and Seth talk. Yeah.
But I know you are frustrated. And I am not saying that's not valid, but this is not helping.
If it's not helping, then you shouldn't be talking about it on social media.
But
I'm trying
as a PI, you
Well, you're talking on social media. You ain't shut up.
You should have said, you know what? We're not going to answer that question. We're going to do that privately. That's
I agree. I agree. I don't think that a private investigator, in my opinion, should be in the public eye. I think that they should remain private and they shouldn't be on YouTube channels discussing the case at all. Loose lips sink ships. I don't think any private investigators should make themselves public on YouTube channels. That's me personally, that's just my opinion.
where that should
I
have
did
went.
say that actually several times.
You
And
did.
you can listen to that recording later.
So let's move on to the next question.
I just got to say one thing. You want the public's help. You want them
We need
to be
them.
behind both of you.
We
And
need them to find Sebastian.
exactly. And it's a very good chance that somebody in the public
And
will find
that's
him.
my biggest frustration is that we all collectively have to deal with all of this instead of focusing on Sebastian.
Right. And it's a disadvantage to Sebastian. Really, it's sad because we're not any closer to finding him as long as we're all arguing like this.
Yeah. And mods in chat, you're removing these comments, I hope, because I've been removing some too. And we've got extra people, extra mods in chat. Anything rude that said, they're banned, they're gone. Okay. So we'll get him out there as quickly as possible. And let me go through chat really quickly here to get some more questions here. You've been on here for many hours, and I so appreciate this. I really, really do. So,
Can Chris hear me?
yes, he can.
Can you? Well, you can't throw us in a back room so me and him can talk real quick.
I wish I could. I wish I had that ability, but I don't. I can take you both off, and you can call him. Do you want to do that?
Let's finish this first, and we'll do that after the fact. Let's get these.
Okay, boss man wants to finish this after he was just saying that they shouldn't be doing this. Now he's saying no. They gave him the out. They said, you know what? Y'all can jump down. Y'all can have this conversation offline. But he's like, nope, let's finish. Mr. Boss Man has spoken. It's ridiculous.
These questions out of the way.
Chris, listen, you may not like my opinion, but when we got rumors out there, if you and I squash these rumors, then they stop being rumors and everybody just looks at the people who are spreading them like they are shit. I was not trying to upset you. I'm trying to squash these stupid rumors that are literally filling up my privatized email address.
And Seth is saying, I wasn't trying to upset you. Seth is being respectful. It's Seth's son who went missing from Chris's house. Right? And Seth is the one that is having the composure, the respect, instead of flying off the handle on Chris, like I know Seth can. You know, it's people like Chris, it's people like him that cannot, I'm going to keep it classy.
Their inbox with crap.
Hey, Seth, good to see you, bud.
Which is crap. It's not helping find Sebastian, so if it gets squashed, then people will stop. Not everybody. Lord knows there's still going to be stupid people out there. But it will stop. It will, literally, it will stop.
My report is real simple, Seth.
I want to find Sebastian, Chris, and there are rumors out there that we have to put an end to. You may not like them, but we have to put them into them publicly. Because right here, we can end rumors. So people know when I told them to fuck off, if they didn't like it, they know that I meant fuck off because they don't like it.
So stop right there, Seth. Stop.
Ooh, it's okay, Rosary. Just, let's just be mindful.
Let me help you with something real quick. You want rumors to die?
Let me help you with something real quick. Do you see how it's night and day? Their personalities are night and day. Seth is a grown man. Chris is a boy. And I say that not because I'm against Chris. I say that because that is evidence to me with this conversation. Seth has to be the adult. Yes, sociopath. Yes, versus normal. That's what you feel. That's what you sense. That's what you hear. Seth is cool, calm, collected. He's telling him why. He asked him that. If they want to be a front, like they have been talking about at this time, then let's squash the rumors together. Let's squash them. Seth is saying there's always going to be stupid people. There's always going to be rumors, but we as a front can squash those rumors. And they've got a Is it true that Chris told Seth, you will find your son at church? If that's true, why was that said? So the public, Chris is putting himself up on a panel before Seth ever gets here. He chose to do that. He could have chosen not to go up on the panel. He could have chosen not to watch the video. He could have chosen so much differently, but he doesn't. And now he wants to make sure that they stay on here. And he wants to be Mr. Boss Man.
You want to stop with all the stuff that's coming up and flooding these PI's inbox? How many terabytes do you want of videos where you have gone out there and you've said some very harsh things that should never have come out? You never should have. And now don't take this the wrong way. That is a conversation for
I'm not
later.
here to swing mud.
Let me finish.
There are things that I put out there.
Once again, you can't talk to a fucking log.
Wow. You can't talk to a effing log. Okay. No, because all you want to do is talk. You don't want to listen. This is the reason why they cannot work together. It's not rocket science, guys. Exactly. Just move the subject away from Sebastian. Jen, a boy is very kind named. I prefer see you next Tuesday. Exactly. It makes you want to. I've got a meme for that too. I got a meme for that word with that word in it. I know what you're talking about.
Okay, what? Okay,
Chris,
so
Let me finish.
Chris, that's not productive.
It's not. So let me finish.
Ooh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. This makes me want a day drink.
You all are playing one-sided here.
no, we're not.
I don't think that's fair.
So then tell Seth when I'm talking, let me finish.
Okay.
Tell Seth. Tell him, let me finish.
Seth,
Okay.
let him finish.
Yes, Seth, please let him finish.
There's conversations you've had that should have never been out in the public light, and you know it. And because
You too, Chris. You too. Mouth of the South.
you did that, it started a lot of rumors. Own it, accept it.
Seth didn't create posts from different people saying that they saw your mother at Warsham's. Seth didn't make your stepbrother call you a piece of shit. Let's be real here, Christopher.
And move on from it. I told you on Sunday, I supported you. I would be there for you no matter what, how ugly this got. But I'm not going to stand by and watch you disrespect me, my family, my wife, or anybody for that matter. A lot of rumors got started because you went on social media and you opened your mouth and said some things you shouldn't have said. Accept it. I'll show you the videos.
You don't hear
Now-
somebody give some.
Now, in hindsight, that is a conversation you and I need to have offline, away from everybody else, in our own private conversation.
I just want to know who died and made him the boss. He is triggering. Should I put a trigger disclaimer? I mean, Seth does have unbelievable restraint. Unbelievable restraint. And, you know, he is used to having to, I guess, do that with the inmates. I don't know, but he does have unbelievable amount of courage and strength to even talk to this guy. He's very triggering. It is very triggering, guys. Yeah, Seth did not make the public judge Katie or him. We did that because they did not come out, and when they did, they went on Duchess. That was the weirdest thing. I'd never seen it. I'd never seen a mother go straight to YouTube and not go straight to a, interview with a major news channel, you know?
You and I, we sit down and we can talk. Literally, Lise, you had people watch us doing it Sunday at that vigil.
Well,
They were-
Yeah, we saw. I mean, don't know what you said to him, but I'm sure you were trying to play boss when you were talking to Seth at the vigil. It's not a visual, it's a vigil.
were snapping pictures because they were trying to get some juicy information.
Trish,
So let's answer.
can we move on to the question?
Yes, please.
Yeah, there's a question here in chat, and I've heard this, and Chris, this is a good one I'd like to clear up.
Okay.
Is it true that Chris told Seth, you will find your son at church?
No.
Okay.
No.
That's
what he stated was if I went to church, maybe I'd find my son.
So in other words, if you went to church and talked to the Lord, is that what you were saying,
Yes,
Chris?
that is what the whole conversation in reference was.
I have a question for
you go to a church and you'll find it. Who's
Hold
coming
on,
up with that crap?
So why does Chris think that he needs to give Seth advice to attend church in order to find his son? This interview was streamed live April 27th, 2024. Right here. Maybe y'all can see it.
I'm sorry, Chris, finish. I'm sorry.
I'm talking because why? I understand. I see where people got that.
Right.
But that is a conversation that Seth and I had privately. I'm sorry, but we're not going to sit here and drag certain things into this. It has nothing to do with it.
What do you want to talk about then, Chris? Nothing that anybody is talking. You're not wanting to talk about any of it. Why are you even still up on the panel? He was giving it out, but no. Mr. Boss wanted to stay up here and wanted a bitch. That's what it is. Wanted everybody to hear Mr. Badass that can't keep his shit together. He loses it.
I told Seth, basically we should all go to church. We should pray. That's exactly what it was in reference to.
Understood. Seth, go ahead. It's your turn now.
There's a better way to say it, Chris.
Okay, and that's semantics.
For you to think that I don't go to.
Shut up, Chloe. Jesus. Let him talk. That was rude. Sorry, guys. But dang. Seth is talking, and then she wants to say it's semantics. No, be quiet, girl. Let Seth finish.
The church.
Seth, I didn't say anything about you not going to church or going to church. Can we go to the next question?
Sebastian?
Oh, can we go to the next question? Okay. What's the next question that I won't answer that I'm going to get pissed off about?
No, it's not. Can we move to the next question?
All right. Thank you.
Okay. How about this? Because you guys have been on here for almost 3 hours, and I really appreciate it. And I do think Chris and Seth need to talk off air. Let's talk about what we do know. We do know, and this is how we started out the live stream. We do know that Sebastian was last seen publicly at Texas Roadhouse on Sunday. We know he was seen on camera taking out the garbage at some point. We know that there is a possibility that the cameras did not pick up Seth leaving the house because it was so dark.
Sebastian,
Actually, Sebastian, not
I'm
Seth.
sorry, what did I say? I'm sorry.
You
I'm so
said
sorry.
Seth.
Seth, I'm sorry. You're not missing Seth. You're right here. Sebastian. Sebastian,
I'd like to be listening.
yeah, I understand. I hear you. Sebastian was not seen, a possibility that Sebastian was not seen leaving the house because it was too dark. Okay. There were certain scent dogs that hit on Sebastian. There were 3 of them that went down to the retaining pond. According to Chloe, that retaining pond has been searched.
It was actually been drained and it has been walked and searched.
Okay, so that's good. I think that's what we know about that night and the hours before he went missing. I think that's all we know for certain. Now, I want to ask all of you, what is the next step? Chloe and Heather, I'll go to you 2 first, and then I'll go to the two gentlemen.
I'm sorry, my dog was barking. What did you say?
That's okay. I said, what is the next step? What is the next step for you? What is the next step for the public? What would you like us to do? What do you think you guys are going to do?
Well, for us right now, we are really focused on getting Q in. Chloe and I are working on a report and some maps to try to give them an idea of areas that need to be searched or researched. And I think really the next big step is getting us all on the same page and working together.
Mhm.
And even though this is a mess right now, I think this is a huge step in that direction. And I'm hoping that, as I said, Chris had called me earlier and just right before the show started, and I messaged Chloe and was kind of talking to her about what you guys were going to talk about, because I wanted to, some of the things that he cleared up with me, I wanted to make sure she was aware of.
Mm-hmm.
But, reaching out to me and then reaching out to you guys on the podcast tonight, I think it's a huge step in the right direction. He's angry, but once we get past that, I think maybe we can all work together and start putting our heads together on where we need to look for Sebastian.
Thank you. Very good. Chris, what would you like to see us do? What do you think?
At this point, keep spreading the flyers, keep keeping his name out there in of good graces, not of in a negative light. Spread the words. If you know something, say something. Don't wait 2 weeks. Don't wait 3 weeks. I told Heather the same thing. There's so many tips that come in weeks later instead of the moment that they come in. When you get these tips, you call 911, you call TBI, you don't call these PIs, you don't call Seth, you don't call us, you just call the law enforcement agency. Keep spreading the flyers, spreading the word, prayers. Trust me, keep the prayer warriors out there. We need them.
I agree. And I think, because of all of the noise, people have not been reminded to continuously search their properties. And like I said before, everybody else came on here. There's a lot of really large properties in the area, and the terrain is treacherous in a lot of areas. And things get missed. So I think it's important to center it back to the local level, first of all, because this has become national, and nationally people are giving their opinions. We need the community to come back together and search their acres and acres of property, because I believe he could be very close to home.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
Now, I will say this much, that everything she said is exactly the same thing law enforcement's been pushing.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not comfortable searching, call law enforcement. They, I'm sure, can work in getting a team out there to search the property. Please, everybody that's searching, do not. I can't stress this enough. Please do not just walk on private property without having prior permission. Please.
By the way, there's comments in chat and we're removing them. Chris has been searching. Okay. He has been searching. just because you don't see him searching, because you personally don't see him, doesn't mean he's not searching. So that needs to stop, okay? That needs to stop right now. And Seth, what do you feel the final word should be?
I need people to keep the faith. I need people to keep faith that we will find Sebastian. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know what people's mindset are right now,
Hold on.
but it doesn't need to be about me. It doesn't need to be about Chris. It needs to be about Sebastian.
Mm-hmm.
Sebastian is the goal. Sebastian is what is lost. Sebastian is what you.
I agree. He's been searching for drama. He creates it. Yeah. I mean, Chloe was working with fish sticks as a, you know, on Layla's case. Then he lets her go because she did something that was, I don't know if it was illegal. I don't know what she did, but he let her go. And then he starts piggybacking. Once she gets let go of Seth, that's when Fish Sticks comes in and begins to work with the Proudfoots, actually for the Bowersox, because I'm sure the Proudfoots aren't paying him. And if they are, you know, whatever, it's really neither here nor there, but I don't think that they are.
Oh, honey, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Just remember, he's here for me.
I am so sorry.
My son is missing. I need people to continue with the flyers, as Chris said.
Mm-hmm.
PBI has already stated that most of their tips do come in from flyers. I have
Okay.
I have 100% faith that the humanity that still exists out here, that we can come together, heads up, eyes open, see something, say something. Contact FBI, contact TBI, call 911 for your local. Tell them that, you know, you think you just saw the missing child from Hendersonville, Tennessee. Get them on it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. At the same point in time, if you feel that they're not doing it, you just fix it. Law enforcement is short-handed. All it takes for evil things to exist is good men do nothing. And that's good females too. I'm not, you know, it's just for evil to exist and continue is good people they do nothing.
Right.
Don't fall into the simplicity. On your way to work, on your way to the corner store,
Mm-hmm.
on your way to Walmart, you might see my son.
Absolutely
You might
right.
see him, and I need you to say something. I need you to call 911 immediately. If you're not in Sumner County, I need you to call 911. After you call 911, call TBI, so that way they know that 911 has already been called. I have found that law enforcement groups do not communicate with each other, and I don't mean this as a negative.
No, but it's true. The law enforcement agencies, that's the big problem that I hear actually from law enforcement themselves when they're talking about cases. You know, there's the information sharing it's just not where it should be. Yeah, but Chris dresses up. Yeah, I mean, Chris is a boy. He's a boy. Seth is a man. You know, Katie downgraded when it comes to the intelligence and the emotional side. Like, this is a true father. You can hear it in his voice. The words are from his heart.
But I mean this as if the Facebook lead came through, and I called Lebanon, which is here in Tennessee, and they didn't even know that my son was missing.
Oh, jeez.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
I will second that with Seth.
So
There's a lot of people
they
out there
don't communicate.
that don't know locally.
Right. They don't communicate, and they need to. They absolutely need to.
Well, I'm not saying communicating. I'm just agreeing
It's
that he is
short-handed.
saying that there's a lot
Not
of
everybody
folks.
gets the information that is necessary.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody forgets to do a pass down, and the next officer on duty doesn't get the information that he needs. So he doesn't even know. It's not his fault. The officer before him could have been working a 16, or have even been working more than a 16, which is illegal. But we still have to have law enforcement out there.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I just need everybody to work together. The rumors are killing it. The rumors are killing people's time. And that's the one thing Sebastian doesn't have.
Right.
So if you've already called TBI with your information, but you think it might be a rumor, if you heard it from Joe Blow down the fucking road, you're not helping find my son. You're part of the problem. People out there listening that are doing the death threats, I will see you at my door.
And so that's something too, you know, the threats. There were threats going on early on, and these threats haven't stopped. If you are out there and you're searching, I mean, I was never threatened. You know, I'm just saying that it does break your heart. And he was, you know, he's right that the rumors, just because you hear somebody say something, if you don't do your due diligence and you're not researching, don't just go off of what other people are saying. Do your own research before you run with it and tell somebody else. Oh yeah, he threatens everybody, girl mom. He threatens everybody. So does his stepdaddy. they're just alike. But Seth has been asking since day one. Wherever you go, hand out flyers. You go to Walmart, hand out a flyer. Talk to people about him. Look on the side of the road. And he's correct too that these agencies aren't sharing information. That's a big part of the problem when it comes to missing cases or any cases, any investigations here in Tennessee. It seems to be a huge problem. The officer in Lebanon didn't even know. Well, shit. I mean, people from Lebanon went to search for Sebastian. Why would there be anybody in law enforcement know? And y'all heard it. I was live. I had Seth on speaker, if I remember correctly. I'm pretty sure I had him on speaker. I don't remember now. But when we called, you know, Georgia, because there was an alleged sighting of Sebastian in Georgia, walking on the side of the road. The officer had no clue who Sebastian is. Has no clue. Didn't know. Which is concerning because you would think that each law enforcement agency would be educated in regard to any Amber Alerts. You know, it's just disheartening, really.
You want to sit there and pick on people, but you're a coward. You are a coward. And if somebody has my son, understand that I love him and I need him back.
Mm-hmm.
I need him back. Not that I want him back, it's I need. Because my life has stopped. Because
Seth.
No, Chris, hush. His life has stopped. He doesn't want him. He needs him. That is his joy. Chris, you don't have a missing child. Faith is okay. And if the tables were turned, you wouldn't be okay. You would be unemployable. You would not be able to go back to work. You wouldn't be able to, because it would be your kid. Totally different when it's somebody else's.
My son is not here, and I find it hard to function
Can you ladies get
with
him
a
to hold for me,
regular
please?
life without my son here.
I'm sorry, Chris.
Seth.
What did you say? Go ahead, Chris.
Right. Seth, I know what you're doing and I understand the plea, but hang tight, man. You and I need to get off this panel. You, me, Katie, PIs need to get on a phone call.
Absolutely.
Not on here. Our message is simple. Find Sebastian, you see it, you say something, you call it in. Don't wait. Don't go down this track, man. Don't. I'm looking out for you. Don't.
Don't go down what? Don't have emotion? Don't go down what? He interrupts him. Says what their message is, that the message is simple, takes control of the conversation, telling him to don't do it, man. I'm looking out for you. Don't do it. Don't do what? Don't do what? Act like a caring parent? Don't be emotional? You're lucky, Chris, that you're breathing, dude. Let's just, let's be real. Don't do what? Why does he try? Why is he telling him don't? Now he wants to get off the panel. Now Mr. Bossman is saying now they can get off the panel. Okay.
Can I just say one thing? I don't want to ever discourage people from reaching out with information that they think might be pertinent. Now, getting the same tip 100 times from everybody on social media, just sending the screenshot, did you see this? And we've already seen it 500 times. I mean, that's a little excessive, but I don't ever want people to think like, oh, this might not be important, because that might be the one tip that actually was important.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a different message to send. I don't want anybody to feel discouraged. Please reach out to us. Please reach out to TBI. Do not keep anything silent because you don't think it's
Absolutely.
important.
And I wanted to reiterate, like I get a ton of messages. And even if I do not respond to you, that doesn't mean I haven't looked at it. And that doesn't mean I'm not looking into it.
Mm-hmm.
So please, I get them on Twitter, I get them on Facebook, I get them in my emails. If I don't respond, it's not because I'm ignoring you. We are vetting things that we know are probably nothing.
Right.
But we're still vetting them.
I mean, that kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier.
I'm sure it does.
I'm
sure it does.
Regardless of how everybody out there feels about me personally, regardless. Let me help everybody with something. And that is,
Oh, please do. Please help us, boss man. Please help us. Direct us.
might help you understand where we're all standing. There are some folks out there that have children. And I would like for you to take your step back and you can go look at your children. You get to look at them. You get to hold them. You get to hug them. You get to give them kisses every night. You get to say, I love you, and all the fun jazz that you get to do.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, there are 3 parents that cannot do that right now to one child. One. Regardless of how you feel about me, because I can tell you now, I'm not the most liked person in the world, and I'm perfect.
Well, finally, the truth has come out. You're not. You're not. And it's because the way you behave. You behave like a boy, not a man. Right, y'all? I mean, he is the spokesman for Cooterville, asking women to close their legs. This guy is a joke. He's a disgrace.
Okay to accept that. But
That's my opinion.
if your heart's in the right place and you're doing this for the right reasons, it's not about me. It's not about Seth. This ain't about Katie. This is about 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers.
No, it is about you and your house, because your house where Katie lives, your house where Katie lives is where Sebastian went missing. So it's definitely about you and Katie. It's definitely about y'all.
Our son. And all I'm asking for y'all is to please.
Oh, I'm sure, Joni, I'm sure that Junior, I'm sure that Power Sox Junior got a tongue lashing for that comment. After that comment, I didn't see him anymore. Of course, I wasn't on Facebook a whole lot either. I mean, I would receive screenshots because I was building the map. So
Tone everything down. Focus on the positive.
oh, are you asking for everybody to turn the tone down? Oh, now we're going to turn it down.
This ain't about Seth. This ain't about Katie. This is about 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers, our son. And all I'm asking for y'all is to please tone everything down. Focus on the positive. Keep pushing the message out there. And trust me, when we find Sebastian, when he comes home, let the party begin. But that's all we're going to ask of y'all is please just keep spreading the word and be supportive and just keep pushing Sebastian.
Do y'all see how, though, that he stopped Seth? Couldn't have Seth having emotions on the panel because it would make him look bad. Then Chris had to start talking, interrupting him, telling him to stop. Don't do it, man. I'm looking out for you. Just stop. He takes control of the conversation each and every time. Yeah, I'd rather hear Katie too than Chris talking in circles, for real. Well, I mean, and Katie's the mom. That's who we want to hear from. He's got to bring it back full circle to him. It's about him. Exactly, Jill. Yep.
That's all we're going to ask.
Thank you. Seth, any final words?
No.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen,
What else is said? Seth was just interrupted. Yeah, exactly. He does. I said early on, Holly, that Junior, if Junior could probably solve it.
I can't thank you enough for coming tonight. I apologize for the rude comments in chat. Our mods were deleting them as quickly as possible. Those people disgust me. They're not welcome here. And
Thank you so much, Trish. If this had to happen publicly as it did, I'm really glad it happened here.
well, and again, we'll do anything we can to help and anything we can do to facilitate
About chat comments, just to clear up for everybody.
chat. Yeah, not here. But I do want to say something. People were accusing me of favoring Seth over Chris. I was, because Chris was so angry and so aggressive. And I was trying to calm him down, and I wanted to but he was just kept exploding, and that's just not going to help. And I was trying.
And that's a big problem, because if we can see that if you're not in agreement, we can see that Chris isn't handling his emotions properly. And we can see that the way that he handles his emotions, still to this day, not coping well. We are obviously going to think, dang, did Sebastian have to go through all of this emotional turmoil? Did Sebastian have to go through this anger? What was he walking on eggshells all the time? And what is his mother like? Because she is co-signing this type of behavior. Yeah, you can totally feel his insecurity. I agree. Yeah, I just think poor Sebastian.
Trying to get that message across to him, and I don't know if I did. You know,
I doubt it.
So it
Also,
was.
you were trying to make sure Seth got a chance to speak. That
Well,
they both
yeah.
got a chance to speak. You know,
And Chris had been on there longer than Seth. So anyway, it was just it was very frustrating. So I will.
And you hear a creator saying it's very frustrating. No, she wasn't favoring. She was trying to calm Chris down. He couldn't hold his shit. He was losing it, you know?
Admit that I was helping Seth more for two reasons. Chris was so angry and was just exploding, and I was trying to give Seth time to respond. So that's why. Anyway, yeah, I do, Elizabeth. I feel like Chris is his own worst enemy, and I don't know how to get through to him. But he's just
right. He's his he is his worst. He can't. Yeah.
Just making it worse by getting angry like that. It doesn't help, because here's the thing. You're not going to change the idiots out there that come in and say these horrible things. You're not.
And that's what Seth was saying. He was coming to Chris and saying, let's be a front. Let's squash the rumors together. But he went off the deep end. I mean, he went completely sideways and started talking sideways. And I don't like how he treats Seth.
Just not. And by yelling at him, calling him names, it's not going to help. It's just going to make you look like an angry person. So.
And it did. It did. When he opens his mouth, he doesn't think before he speaks. He doesn't control his emotions. And we see that. And it's very disheartening to think that Sebastian had to live with somebody like that.
Oh,
it's hard. But as we know, you've got to ignore those people.
And that's so hard to do.
Yeah, it's hard, but you need to. I mean,
but here's the thing. These two families, like I said, they didn't know. One day they're going along, all of a sudden they're boom in the middle of social media. And unless you've been in it, it's almost impossible to.
But look, so if you're searching for your son and you have people that are being threatened, that are people were calling Seth. And like I said, United Cajun Navy, they pulled out. They said it themselves that they were receiving threats. They said it on national television. They were receiving threats. So you have a missing son. You have people a lot of people that are looking for your son. All the while, you're not seeing Chris or Katie. Right? You're looking for your son, and all of a sudden, all these people are getting threatened. Well, you know it's not you or your team that is threatening. So then you look to Chris and Katie and you wonder, why is this happening? And you look at the behavior. They're talking about vacationing. They're talking about jewelry on day one. What if this goes south? What if we don't find him? on day one. Anybody that expects these two to work together, again, no brain cell.
Ignore these
Yeah.
things, and you want to respond because you think, okay, if I get out there and respond and tell the truth, then everybody will see. Well, it doesn't matter because the trolls will be the trolls, you know. And if anybody found that upsetting to listen to, you could have left at any time. And
Yeah.
I offered to end it so these two could talk, and Chris said
Yeah.
no. Chris,
That's right. That's right. Because see, the way that the chat was reacting today is the same way that the chat was reacting with her. They were triggered. If you've ever been in an abusive situation and you listen to Chris talk, it's triggering past abuse.
said no. So I tried, you know, and if they want to talk on this platform, I am more than happy to let them talk. But
Anything that can maybe help, you know.
exactly.
You know.
Exactly. And again, nobody is forced to sit into this chat or into this, you know, to listen to this. So, and here I am getting all defensive about people making comments about me, and I'm saying, oh, don't listen. And I'm doing just not even taking my own advice. But anyway, okay, I think that's it. I think I need a break.
Yeah, I bet you did, girl.
But please, everybody, get the word out about Sebastian. We'll put links in the description where you can get the flyers and do all of that. Okay. I know he's just being gray.
Yeah.
That's what he's doing. Okay. Very good. Very good. Okay. Now I want to bring up, there's a comment that just, Lily D, I need my blood pressure meds too. So
that is so funny because Jeff, yes, I did take my blood pressure medicine. I took it when I first started this. I'm like, oh God, yeah, I got to take it.
But he just said, Chris wants money. I've never heard that. I've never heard anything about Chris wanting money. Have you?
No, I haven't.
And so I think that's a terrible thing to say. Just here's the thing, people, your words have power. For God's sakes, remember that. You know,
As far as I know, Chris works. They have
Yeah.
a house. They have these things, so they have money to pay for them. So
Well,
I don't understand what.
And
people are saying.
the GoFundMe is for the search. Chris,
Right.
Prophets have not put up a GoFundMe, you know? So,
And we remember, y'all remember, they got all pissy because Seth's sister created a GoFundMe for him. And thank God she did. Even though she stopped it, once it got to, I think, like 20 grand, she stopped it. It was stopped and he didn't receive any more. But thank God he had that because he has spent that on his truck because of all the driving that the man does, chasing down leads. Right, Jeff? I mean, we know firsthand the man has had some major issues with his truck. Yeah, you feel a piece of your brain shut down. Preservation mode. Heart rate increases. You become in this fight or flight freeze, fawn response. I love that. Yes. Focus comes to one point to de-escalate the threat. It is very difficult to hear it. It's very difficult to hear him speak when he starts to get so emotional. And that's a lot of the time that we've heard him. And he is his own worst enemy because of that. You know, like I said in the beginning of this live, the parents and the step parent, they're damned if they do and they're damned if they don't. Even if they were to start working together. Okay, let's say that tomorrow they decide to squash it all, to try to do their best to work together to find Sebastian, become a front. And Seth has to push all of that weirdness that he feels and all the stuff that he knows. He has to push that down. Chris and Katie, they have to push that down. Let's say that they did. Everybody's going to talk mad shit. Why in the hell are you doing that, Seth? You know that she had something to do with it. You know that they know where he is. And it's not easy for people to fake it till they make it. Seth is genuine. Yeah, and his heart is definitely broken. Yeah, 2 times his truck had major repairs, tires, brakes. Yeah. Seth is burning up his truck following leads. That's correct. He has. And thank God he had that because he doesn't have a mother giving him money. He doesn't work at a crane operation. He doesn't have 2 incomes. It's completely different. And you become, a week later, they leave. They go to Memphis, go to Mississippi, and leave the house while Seth is out there searching. Seth is searching. They leave. I mean, it doesn't take. We don't even have to understand. Even if Chris didn't have all of this emotion, they left. They literally left where Sebastian went missing from. Chris says, "Oh, life goes on. Got to get back to work." Well, it's easy for him to say because Faith isn't missing. If Faith was missing, he would be unemployable. He wouldn't be able to just go back to work a week later. Let's be real, guys. They are hyper focused on the money. And if I was Seth, I'd be making money every day on YouTube. I would be making money every day because he does have bills and they haven't stopped. It's completely different than Chris and Katie. Completely different. I mean, Seth didn't pay Chloe, but he was paying Heather. These private investigators cost money. Attorneys. He had to get an attorney to get the CPS reports. He had to get an attorney to go back and forth with Texana and Chris. They cost money. Anybody that thinks that Seth is making money on the back of his missing kid, that is the most ridiculous thing. They don't have a brain cell. Not one. Exactly. Seth was taken off work. He had to have a leave of absence. And I think that he still needs a GoFundMe. I do. He's unemployable. And I don't mean that in a disrespecting way. I mean that in a respectful way. We see all kinds of parents out there that have missing kids that are constantly using social media. Every day they are uploading, maybe 1 or 2 times a day they are uploading, they are on live. They are asking for help. People are sending them money. This has always been a thing with parents of the missing. They have to have money. It takes money for all of this stuff. Wristbands, shirts, signs, flyers, that's not free. That's not free, guys. Exactly. He should have his own GoFundMe for anything and everything that he needs. If he wants to go and buy him the biggest steaks ever, go do it. And if anybody wants to donate to Seth, if somebody would please put his Cash App here, drop his links. Help the man out. He needs it. Please drop his links, guys. Let's see. Now I want to get to this one. Hold on. I got another one that I watched this morning that I want to show. And if you don't mind linking that to this video when I pull it up. But the man is, he's not in the money like the Bowers. Is it possible that Chris just doesn't want anyone talking about Sebastian, including Seth? I mean, it kind of seemed like that, didn't it? Exactly, Mom Marissa. I'll get on and have a telethon if I want to. You damn right, girl. We grown here. We're grown here. Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you guys for I'll pin it too. And if y'all can, okay, so Jeff has dropped the merchandise link. You can be a walking billboard. That doesn't, that costs a lot of money too. That costs money for them to make those, to send them out. Thank you, Mama Marissa. Thank you guys. So this video was posted 8 hours ago, and it's from Crime Vale New, which is I'll put that in the chat too. Let me put that in the chat. If you want to see this video in its entirety, be sure and click on the link, and it'll take you right to it. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. There's the chat. I mean, there's the link for Crime Vale News or Crime Vale New. It is good. It is good. I just watched it this morning. What are you saying? Blessings. I have 50 flyers and green envelopes ready to go. Do you have a letter by chance that you could share for me to include in this flyer? I've been trying to locate one. I'm adding FBI labels. A letter? I don't think we have a letter. The flyer should say everything that it needs to say, right? This guy makes some good points. I mean, whoever's channel that, whoever this is, they do make some good points on their channel. And so if you're not subscribed, I suggest you do. Crime Vale New. And, there's, it breaks it down, brings back in some logic because we tend to sway from the logic. And he does bring in some logic here. And I thought we would review it because I know that some of y'all haven't seen it. Actually, oh shit, that this is an hour. So yeah, we may not review all of it. I didn't realize it was an hour. Jesus. But he really does break it down. So let's look at it.
There's no words, there's no way to put how this actually feels. And anybody that can, I don't see how. It is mind-blowing at the same time that it's been a year and the amount of people that still don't know about this, it's unnerving, basically. I mean to see that this is something that recently has surfaced and it's been this long. It's just taking that long to find something. And what the video shows is kind of mind-boggling. We went from potentially not having a sighting to potentially having a sighting.
Chris Proudfoot slipped when he said, "Sebastian will never sleep in that room again."
That's what I don't understand, because Chris didn't say that. He didn't add that in. He's just telling us that Chris said that he would never sleep in his room again. And I do remember, I think, Chris saying that, but he doesn't, this channel isn't telling me. I mean, I'm not hearing it. I'm not hearing that from Chris. It's this narrator that is telling me. You know? So I think that that's kind of, I wish that he would have included that where Chris does say that instead of him telling us that Chris said it. You think you said, okay, gotcha. Gotcha.
A sentence no innocent parent could produce. When that slip is placed alongside his precise description of the only camera blind exit wrote, his efforts to shut down all search directions, and Sebastian's disappearance occurring exactly 1 week before the custody hearing, the stepfather extraction hypothesis stops being speculation. It becomes the only model that fits the evidence. If Chris wasn't involved, then how did he know the outcome in advance? Reconstructing the final known moments before Sebastian Rogers disappeared requires examining the physical, behavioral, and environmental data together rather than in isolation.
He ate like, I mean, he was starving. And maybe that's just how he eats. I mean, my kids eat. I mean, I look over and they're already done. I'm like, dang, I'm just now starting. You know, maybe some people just eat faster than others, you know?
Advance. Reconstructing the final known moments before Sebastian Rogers disappeared requires examining the physical, behavioral, and environmental data together rather than in isolation. When the available evidence is layered, a coherent forensic model emerges, one that aligns with a controlled extraction rather than a voluntary runaway or a stranger abduction. The absence of physical traces, combined with the predictable behavioral patterns documented in the files, allows for a reconstruction that is supported not by speculation but by exclusion and logical probability. The first and most important physical indicator is the absence of footprints.
Exactly. Where are the footprints? If he left that home, like we are being made to believe, in the middle of the night, where are the footprints that actually match Sebastian? I'm not talking about other footprints, big ones, little ones. I'm talking about the footprints that would match Sebastian.
The terrain around the home included grass, soft patches, and areas where moisture or temperature would ordinarily capture at least partial impressions.
Exactly, because you got the dew, you know. That moisture is going to hold on to those footprints, especially in this type of area where he lives. Where Sebastian's mom, or where Chris Proudfoot's home is, rather, that area right there has more soft soil. I think that that sounds like a wonderful idea, Women's Warrior.
Yet no footprints.
Of course, I would have to ask Seth. Seth may not want, you know, Seth may not. I doubt he's in chat anymore since he's not, but if he is, he could tell us if he would want to or not, but he may not even want to do it. He may not even want to do any type of fundraising. But he did, I mean, it costs money. It costs money. And the bills haven't stopped either. So he's got the bills, he's got the maintenance, he's got, you know, it's a lot on somebody to have to deal with. I can't imagine.
Consistent with Sebastian's weight or gait were observed leading away from the house. This is unusual for any solo exit scenario. Runaways leave trails even partial, inconsistent, or degraded ones. The total absence of such impressions is the initial sign that Sebastian may not have left the house on foot. The absence of a scent trail reinforces this. Tracking dogs are trained to follow human scent across a wide variety of surfaces, and while environmental variables can degrade scent, the complete failure of dogs to establish any directional movement suggests that Sebastian was not walking independently through.
My energy bill dropped.
Exactly. I don't think he was either, because if he's walking independently, those dogs would have picked up a bunch. And the weird thing to me is the dogs, why wouldn't the dogs have at least picked up the scent going from the home to the road where he allegedly took the trash out, you know? Jen are doing something for him. He can't survive on pride. 2 years. He's great. Yeah, it's great to find a son when others have made thousands. So we are, I'm with you, girl. I mean, you know, no guts, no glory. No guts, no glory. Seth does have a Cash App, D Green. Yeah, he does have a Cash App. I'm actually going to post it, pin it. And, you know, I guess I can ask for permission, but I know that Seth needs, you know, he needs, he needs help in every way possible until Sebastian comes home, you know. And it's just, you can't, it's hard to work. It's just hard to work. I'm trying to pin that. Dang it. I don't know why it's not letting me pin it. Oh, here we go. Oh, dang it. I don't know how sorry, Mama Marissa, I deleted your comment. Oh gosh. Okay, I don't know how to undo that. There's the PayPal. Can you post it again? Oh my gosh. That is too funny. Here, I'm going to pin the merchandise. There's the merchandise link. You can walk around your area wherever you go and be a walking billboard. I can't pin it unless you say, like, put some wording in, like Seth's Cash App, and then drop the link, and then I can pin it. So if y'all could do that, that'd be great, and I'll pin it. But that's the link right there that's pinned for the merchandise that is not free either. All right.
Dropped from $150 to $50 by doing this. My friends laughed at me when I spent
through the area. Dogs.
Yeah, sounds like a plan, Mama Marissa. Yeah.
Frequently pick up scent, even when footprints are absent. The lack of both strengthens the inference that
Holly, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Sebastian's movement, if it occurred at all, did not involve unassisted foot travel through the yard or surrounding terrain. Another critical detail is the absence of shoes. Files document that Sebastian disliked walking barefoot, particularly outside. For a neurodivergent teenager, aversion to certain tactile sensations such as cold ground, rough surfaces, or unpredictable textures can be intense. A voluntary departure without shoes is inconsistent with known behavioral patterns. In forensic reconstruction, this detail is not minor, it is central. Runaways, especially in colder conditions or unfamiliar environments, do not leave without footwear unless in extreme psychological states or under coercion. Stranger abductors, on the other hand, do not typically remove victim shoes at the scene. Doing so increases risk and extends time on location. The only scenario in which a child leaves without shoes and without resistance is one in which he is guided by someone he trusts.
Exactly. He didn't walk out of that house with no shoes because there's no prints. There's no footprints. Yeah, you're right. Ken Widener did say that the scent never left anywhere from the house. And I do remember him saying that there was one that hit away from the home and immediately lost it. That's what I heard Ken say. Yeah, he either didn't make it home or he did make it home and Katie drove him out. There should be prints. If somebody is walking around that creek area in the back of the house, if they are walking around back there, there should be footprints because that ground is soft. It's a softer type of ground, you know, especially that morning. That morning, the dew is still there. It's soft ground.
The next element is the absence of camera footage. No camera captured Sebastian exiting the home. This includes neighboring houses, street-facing systems, and private surveillance. A voluntary departure would almost certainly cross at least one camera angle, and a stranger abductor approaching the home would almost certainly be recorded somewhere along the approach route. The absence of video is not a neutral fact. It implies that Sebastian's movement was confined to the known camera blind spot behind the house, a location identified unprompted by Chris. When reconstructing the event, this blind spot is the only plausible egress path that avoids all surveillance. Also relevant is the lack of forced entry or signs of struggle. The doors were not damaged, and there were no indications that an intruder entered the home. Stranger abductions from inside a residence are exceedingly rare, and when they occur, they usually leave physical indicators: broken locks, disturbed rooms, overturned objects.
Yeah, I mean, we know that it's definitely not an abduction. He wasn't abducted. And I still go back to even if people were taking him out of that home and put him in a car, where are their prints? Where are the footprints, guys? When Craddock said there is no evidence that he left the home, Chris even said, believe it. It's the truth. The truth is they could not find any evidence that he left that home. That means that they're not finding any evidence that anybody was walking around back there, over there, by here. Where's the footprints, guys?
Nothing of that nature was documented. The forensic conclusion is straightforward: no unknown individual entered the home to remove Sebastian. These physical factors, no footprints, no scent trail, no footwear, no video evidence, and no forced entry, constitute a set of deficiencies that almost never occur simultaneously in genuine runaway or stranger abduction cases. When so many basic indicators are absent, investigators look toward scenarios that minimize the child's independent movement and maximize offender control. This brings the analysis to the behavioral data contained in the file. Chris's
the clip is on YouTube of Ken saying it. Yes, it is. Yeah, I've shown it several times on here where Ken is talking about it. They say that they didn't pick up a scent, but then he says that it hit away from the home and then lost it.
Action.
Yeah, he must have been walking on the air. No, orbit traction. It's the aliens. It's the aliens. I think it could be a distraction. I mean, we wouldn't even know about the lights had it not been for Nick Barris showing us the lights, saying that it could be something of evidentiary value. And then he had to retract all of that. But the mob crew has been, he thoroughly believes, Chris from the mob crew thoroughly believes that those lights are something, and they could be. They could be. They could be. But the fact is, where are the footprints? Where's the scent? Even if they were to have carried Sebastian off, somebody carried him. Where are their footprints? We got to remember, Tennessee, moisture, February, it had been unseasonably warm. There's dew. We should have some prints. And that creek line is definitely going to be more mushy, It's the moisture is staying there. So there should be footprints. If he was taken out of the home, if he walked anywhere around there, there should be footprints. So don't lose sight of the logic.
And narrative patterns closely align with a pre-planned extraction model. The extraction model is a forensic framework used to describe cases.
However, this model, this extraction to remove a child from the home, that is the perception, that's the point of view with this narrator. But it doesn't have to be an extraction. Sebastian may not have ever made it there. And they have fooled the investigators. They have fooled them.
Cases in which a trusted individual removes a child from a home environment under controlled conditions, typically to prevent detection or investigation. Under this model, the most likely sequence is as follows: Sebastian was awakened by someone he trusted. Neurodivergent minors do not typically respond calmly to being woken in distressing situations or by strangers. The absence of noise, resistance, or disturbance suggests a familiar voice, most likely Chris. He was guided quietly out of the house. Whether coerced or reassured, the movement appears to have been compliant. This is consistent with extraction rather than abduction. A sudden, forceful removal would generate noise or disturbance. None was reported. He exited through the rear door. This aligns exactly with the route Chris himself identified: the backyard, where there are no cameras. Forensic reconstruction shows this route is the only one that avoids all external video. He moved through the protected corridor between the two townhomes. This corridor prevents visibility from both street-facing cameras and neighbor surveillance.
Yeah, I just don't believe that, because the Carr residence has cameras. Other houses there have cameras in the back too. And you have to remember that common area is a creek. And it's deep. It's deep. It's not like it's, I would say maybe 2 to 3 feet deep. I don't know, Jeff. I don't know what you would think with that, how the depth of that creek is. But when you see it in person, it's deeper, like than say, My Side Creek or something like that. It's pretty deep. And that area that they're talking about, that he would have walked or been taken into a car, that area right there is going to be more soft. You see what I'm saying? And they could, Hope Floats. I mean, they could have military shoes that don't expose. But I just don't see that happening. I see that there would be prints, there would be evidence that Sebastian left the home, or there would be evidence that he was taken with those dogs with footprints.
It is the most discreet path from the home to a staging area. He was placed into a vehicle. The absence of footprints and scent implies Sebastian did not travel far on foot.
See, the absence of footprints and scent implies Sebastian did not travel far on foot. So if we take that same logic and apply it to anybody that would be walking back there and have no footprints, we have to use that same logic. You see what I'm saying? If we don't see Sebastian's, why are we not seeing Chris or Katie's or anybody that would have been carrying him out? You see what I'm saying? Oh, I definitely have the dam on the map. I was just talking about it probably before you came in, Jane. I was talking about that area on the live before you came in. I think whether he made it home or not, law enforcement knows. And what the FBI statement is saying is if he did make it home, he didn't walk away from it on his own. Yeah, he was coerced. Yeah. That's true. But I'm just saying, logic tells me that if we don't find any footprints of Sebastian's, we're not finding any footprints of anybody's, he may not have made it home. Okay?
The most plausible next step is transfer to a waiting car.
Exactly. In other words, she drove him out that morning or he didn't make it home. Exactly. 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 He could have been laying down the back seat for all we know. But I'm getting to the point where I just don't think he made it home.
Car parked near the new development area, another location Chris referenced. The vehicle departed the area without detection. Vehicles leaving from this region would not necessarily be captured by the limited number of street cameras.
I mean, that would be you see people who cross the border from Mexico with carpet tied to their shoes. I do know people that have come over that have walked and they didn't do any of that. And they got over here just fine. They went through swamps and everything. And I do think that there was some type of carpet. I don't remember, Mama Rosa. Do you remember if they got rid of some carpet?
Especially during low traffic night hours.
Look, I'm not trying to change you guys' mind. Okay. If you believe that these lights are of value and you believe that Sebastian was carried out and there doesn't have to be any footprints, there doesn't have to be any scent, y'all can believe that. That's fine. I'm just giving another opportunity to think outside the box and think of this angle. Because if there's no footprints, no scent, and the law enforcement is saying there is no evidence, that's what it is, you know? No evidence. No evidence of anybody's footprints. Yeah, I just want to find Sebastian. Yeah, definitely. Look up military shoes. I believe you, Hope Floats, and I may. It's just I still don't. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. I'm just not buying it. I just don't agree that he made it home. I'm at that point because of the map, you know, everything that I saw that night with the astrology that I've shown for almost 2 years now. It's just not, none of it is making sense. And she drove for 30 minutes. So if he did make it home, then he left in that car. And she took him somewhere. And I would say that she dropped him off with somebody. That's what I'm thinking now. But we can all agree to disagree. You know what I'm saying? If you have a different theory, that's fine. I do think that the ground would have been disturbed in some way because the moist and the dew. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you've ever walked the creek or outside of the creek on the bank, it's it doesn't have to be raining. We don't I don't need rain for that moisture to retain itself in the ground. Yeah, we wish we could definitely wish we could get that intersection footage. Totally agree there. Do your astrology charts show a preference of making it home versus her driving him out at 6 a.m.? I have shown it time and time again of everything that I see that's happening. Everything. Hold on, my son is calling. Hold on just a second. Hello? Hey, honey. Oh, just talking on live. What are you doing? Yeah, it's okay. I miss you. I love you. I wish you could too. Of course I would. Oh my God, Jody, are you serious? I love you, babe. S- Babe, be careful. I love you. I'm ready. Okay. Love you, bye. Oh my God, I love him so much. He'll be here in 30 minutes, Jeff. Do you hear me, Jeff? Oh, Jeff must be outside. He lives, when I moved out here to the country, he moved out here too, like a year later, stayed here with me for about a year, and then he moved back. And yeah, so a lot of times he'll just show up. He'll just show up, knock on the door. And we live a couple of hours away from each other now, but I've been missing him. He used to come up here a lot, and we just ride the back roads. That's our thing. So he'll be here in about 30 minutes, guys. So I got about 30 minutes with you. I appreciate each and every one of you for being here, listening to me. Even with the astrology, I know it's difficult. It's definitely new. It's definitely new for some of you guys, but it's just a different way to investigate. Okay. But there's a lot that was taking place with Sebastian that day, and I've gone over it even the days before. I've went over that too. Yes, I will be back. Yeah, I will. All right, so
This sequence eliminates the inconsistencies in the physical evidence. It explains why no scent or tracks existed. Sebastian walked only a minimal distance. It explains the absence of video. The chosen path stayed entirely within blind zones. It explains the missing shoes. Compliance, not flight. It explains the lack of forced entry. No outsider needed to enter. And it explains the silence. No struggle occurred. The extraction model also aligns with Chris's behavior after the
exactly, Nicole. She could have taken the trash out. She could have turned the lights on and off. I mean, there's probably other reasons why, even if he's not at home, that she would go in his room. She either made that morning drop, some type of exchange or whatever, or he didn't make it home. And you can bet your butt I will at his eyes. Oh my gosh, yes.
disappearance. His insistence that everything has been checked, that there's nothing out there, and that no cameras captured anything, mirrors the confidence of someone who knows the extraction left no recoverable trace. Innocent parents cling to uncertainty, offenders cling to confidence.
Ooh, that's profound. Offenders cling to confidence.
To determine the likelihood of alternative explanations, we examine the two remaining possibilities. Runaway. The probability is extremely low. No shoes, no video, no footprint, no scent, no prior runaway history, no plausible motivation. Runaways generate random, inconsistent trails, not total absence. Stranger abduction, also extremely unlikely. No forced entry. No video of approach or departure. No signs of struggle. No opportunistic window of vulnerability. Most stranger abductions leave at least one physical indicator. This case has none. A stranger would not know the exact camera blind spot, nor would they risk entering a home silently without detection. A runaway would not use that route, nor would they leave barefoot. Only an internal actor, someone living inside the home with knowledge of layout, cameras, and the child's behavioral tendencies, could orchestrate the disappearance without physical evidence. The forensic model that remains is therefore the extraction model. It is the only scenario consistent with all available data points, without forcing assumptions or stretching probabilities. From a forensic standpoint, the disappearance of Sebastian Rogers follows the pattern of a controlled removal conducted by someone with intimate access, knowledge of surveillance gaps, and the ability to guide him silently from the home. The events of that night align with an extraction, not a runaway, and not a stranger abduction. The most significant forensic clue in the entire case is not a footprint, a piece of digital evidence, or a trail recovered by K9 units.
Boom. Boom. Guys. Did you hear that? Let's look at it again.
The most significant forensic clue in the entire case is not a footprint,
No footprint.
a piece of digital evidence,
No digital evidence.
or a trail recovered by K9 units.
Canines, all those canines out there. All of them.
It is a sentence spoken by Sebastian's stepfather, Chris Proudfoot, captured on video and preserved in the file. Was Sebastian Rogers abducted by his stepfather? It is a linguistic anomaly, a slip that should not exist if the speaker had no knowledge of the child's fate. In the recording, Chris begins a sentence intended to describe the emotional difficulty of returning to a quiet home. He says, "Why have a bedroom that is never normally empty?" He pauses, recalibrates, and redirects the sentence into something neutral. But the original trajectory of the thought is clear from context, cadence, and the abrupt correction. The unfinished sentence was not, never normally empty. Its logical conclusion was, he's never going to sleep in that room again. This is the type of statement that statement analysis identifies as knowledge of outcome leakage. According to forensic linguistics, individuals uninvolved in a disappearance cannot make definitive, future-based statements about a victim's permanent absence.
That's right. Chris acts like he knows. Yeah, I don't see it's possible either, Nicole. I don't think so. Because again, it goes back to no scent, no footprints, no digital evidence.
A parent who does not know whether a missing child is alive or dead cannot naturally predict. Never again. The mind of an innocent parent remains in a state of uncertainty, oscillating between hope and fear. Their language reflects that uncertainty. I hope he comes home. I don't know where he is. I need answers. They do not speak about irreversible outcomes because irreversible outcomes are not part of their knowledge base. Only individuals with internal awareness, either because they caused the disappearance or know what actually happened, produce language that assumes the finality of the victim's fate. In the Proudfoot interview, the slip occurs before any emotional escalation, before any contextual justification, and before any external pressure. It emerges spontaneously.
What's going on with Jules? Why should I text her? What's going on? Text Jules for us and check on her, please. Because of the weight that she and I was going through. Why would I need to text her to check on her? Because that weight is now off of us. So let me know why you think I should do that.
without prompting and with immediate self-correction. Statement analysis describes this as intercepted leakage. The subject begins to express privileged information, realizes the incompatibility of the statement with the expected innocent role, and abruptly alters the direction of the sentence. What is revealing is not only the slip itself, but the speed at which Chris attempts to neutralize it. The correction is instantaneous. He reframes the statement into something that fits the expected script of a grieving parent. But the initial thought, never going to sleep in his room again, has already surfaced. Once spoken, it becomes evidence of cognitive content that should not be present. This pattern is consistent with known cases of parental perpetrated disappearances.
It really is all that makes sense, Nicole. And we have to remind ourselves all the time, you know, she was hurt. Hold on. They were hurt at their latest job. Huh. Okay, I'll check on her. Interesting. Okay. I wonder which case she was working on. Had vest on. Gator is okay. Had vest on. Jules is in hospital as of 2 hours ago. Oh my gosh. I wonder if she was looking for Cherry or Zachary. Do you know? I'll check on her, guys. I'll keep you posted. I think it's entirely appropriate to charge people with lying to the police and obstruction of the investigation. Yes. At this point, see what happens when the pressure gets turned up. Yep. I agree. I agree.
Interviews with Chris Watts and Scott Peterson, two offenders later convicted of murdering their families, linguistic leakage appeared in similar forms. Watts said, "I hope they're okay, wherever they are," while already knowing they were dead. Peterson described his missing wife in past tenses within 24 hours of her disappearance. In both cases, forensic analysts flagged these verbal anomalies before physical evidence confirmed guilt. The Proudfoot slip aligns with the same forensic principles language that presupposes an outcome not yet established in public knowledge. Chris's slip is not an isolated inconsistency. It aligns with multiple other statements in which he inadvertently reveals what statement analysis calls confident assertion of absence. For example, he states, "He managed to do this without leaving any evidence behind." The phrase,
Yeah, I saw that, Hope. I saw that. Yeah, I said that I would call her. I mean, I would check on her. And I wondered if she was looking for Cherry. I have read your comments, honey. I don't know if you can hear me or what's going on, but I have read your comments. And I did say that I will check on her. And I did ask, you know, I'm wondering, like, I'm curious. She was searching for Cherry or searching for Zachary. Zachary's, I don't know if it would be Zachary because Zachary's aunt hasn't texted me that she got hurt. Not that I've seen. Yeah, I saw that. I saw that Gator is fine and Julie, I saw that she's in the hospital. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I said, yeah, I definitely said that I would check in with her. It says that Jules is without her phone. Okay. Well, I've still got, I can still see if she was searching for Zachary and anything that Zachary's aunt Cindy may know. Because I've got her cell number 2. Yeah. But yeah, I'll check on her. Yesterday, Jules had a huge weight on her yesterday. So that could be the weight. Okay. That could be the weight that I was telling her about when we were on live and I pulled up her chart. That weight of home. It could be about the land. Yeah.
"Managed to do this," assigns agency and skill to Sebastian, implying
I see that, Hope. Okay. Jules is not in Canada. Jules isn't in Canada. looking for Jack and Lily. She is working with the family to try to get there, but she's not working there. She's not there in Canada right now. Yes, I know that Gator had to go to the emergency vet. Yes. Yeah, yeah. I think you are behind Hope Floats. I think you are. I'm just waiting for you to catch up here. Anybody that wants to finish watching this video, please do. Crime Veil New. Y'all can go back and you can watch the video in its entirety. But I think that it's, when we hear videos that come out, just keep in mind what you know. You know that there was no footprints. No, and if there is, they haven't told us that, okay? They told us that there was no evidence that Sebastian left the home. That means that there's no evidence of anybody else taking him out of the home, right? So we have to keep with the facts that we know. The terrain here in Tennessee is clay, a lot of sand, a lot of rock. We've had multiple flooding events. Multiple flooding events. Like this one. Like this one. Yeah, I told her that she was going to have a weight. There was going to be a weight that was going to come over her, and that weight has pushed off of her today. So, yeah. So this area that you're seeing on the screen, this is Drake's Creek. The soil here is clay, rock, and sand, so it holds a lot of moisture. And that's what I'm trying to say is that moisture was in the air. That morning that he was missing, the dew was fresh. I mean, they came early in that morning. There should have been prints. There should have been footprints. No footprints. No evidence. Nobody is seeing him walking around. The K9 didn't hit on anything except away from the home and lost it. And we got to remember this stuff. The facts. And the fact is that we don't know that he made it home. We've heard that there's a video, but look, it was dark. Is that really Sebastian taking the trash down? We don't know. We just don't know. Because if they can't find any evidence that he left the home, well, he's not in the home. He's not in the fireplace. He's not in the walls. Where is he? How did he leave that home? Maybe it's just that he didn't make it home. Maybe the lights are really not holding any evidentiary value, no matter how we want it to, how we want to pin this on somebody. We have to remember that they were going to send him to Seth's. We have to remember that last video, that last live that I showed you on Web Sleuths. We have to remember that Chris Proudfoot, Seth Rogers were talking on panel together live. And Chris said He told us that he did not want to go and stay with you and be online. And then Seth said, well, we had a conversation. Well, why didn't you tell me and Katie about the conversation? If I'd have known about the conversation, what would he have done different? What would Chris have done different? Is there anything that Chris and Katie would have done differently? Do you understand what I'm trying to say here? He may not have made it home. He may have went from the Texas Roadhouse, gotten another vehicle, and left. Didn't even make it home. Yeah, she drove right into the garage. Yep. I think that they have the expertise to manipulate the communications, whether in the vehicle or outside the vehicle. I think that they have the ability to manipulate. Yeah, they would have done everything the same. I think so too. I think so too. Yeah. Yeah. Super chats are fun. You know, super stickers, they're fun, but they do take out, and that's okay. That's okay too. I just think if we all can just remember the facts. Thank you, Jill. Thank you, sweetie. Thank you for the super sticker, babes. Yeah, I think that, Pamela, you may want to go back and rewatch this live because I talk about all of that. If you're not familiar with creeks, if you're not familiar with creeks, then you may not realize that stagnant water, and there's a pond right there that's stagnant. And any wind that's blowing you're going to smell that stagnant water of the retention pond. So again, just trying to keep us here with logic. And the logic tells me that that's anything that woman was smelling that day had to do with that retention pond, standing water, because it does stink. And if you're not familiar with that smell and you're looking for a body and you're expecting, and you smell that smell, it will alert you, You know what I'm saying? You also heard that they found out Katie made several stops before going home. I haven't heard that. I have not heard that she made several stops before going home, because she said it herself. She went straight home. Yeah, that's what we're saying, that they took Sebastian somewhere. Thank you, me and you. Some people are new in chat, and let me just say, anybody that's new in the chat, as long as you're respectful, your comments won't be deleted. You won't be timed out. But when you come into a chat and you start throwing theories out of, being deceased and stenches and things like that, and they got rid of them, all that kind of stuff, that's not tolerated here. Because if it was your child, you wouldn't want to read things like that, and I don't tolerate that in this chat. I'm not mad at anybody. It's just that there are certain things that we like in the chat, and there are certain things that we don't, and that's one of them. So the timestamp leaving the Roadhouse, 6:22, is actually 6:24. It was dark. It shouldn't have taken longer than it. No, it would have taken her 9 minutes to get home. It was a 9-minute drive. It took her 9 minutes to get home. And all of that has been, that is, yeah, it's not far at all from her home there. So after she left the Roadhouse, she said that she went straight home. Took her 9 minutes. Yeah, but that girl, Mom, that was before the Roadhouse. It was only Sebastian and his mother eating. They left together and they went home. Did you hear that someone was hiding behind trees about the time KP was on her way home that night? I haven't heard that either. Haven't heard that. I haven't heard that. You're not spreading anything, just saying what I heard in the past, not sure how true it was, right? Yeah, from my understanding, Katie says that she left the Roadhouse, went straight home. She said that the FBI knows that. They know that she went straight home. She's got a cam and yada, yada. But that could be manipulated. That's my stance with it, with all of that. Yeah, I think it was Bobby's. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. That was on a neighbor's ring post. Okay. It has been documented. Yeah. So everything that she has said, we can go back and we can review the things that Katie has said. And anything that she has said that would be different from law enforcement, if it was, she would probably already be locked up. We are being respectful towards Seth and support him and looking for Sebastian and bringing him home. That's right. That's right, little Miss Sharon. Will we have the local place in your pocket? You can have evidence that was there not be a topic of concern because the scent dog is not locating Sebastian. So if there are footprints, I don't care. Okay. Okay. The dash cam could be manipulated or even turned off, but I suppose the cameras outside on people's houses or businesses also caught her route from what FBI said. Well, they didn't say, we don't know. Actually, we really don't know any other cameras that they searched for. They didn't even go to Warsham's until about 10 days after Sebastian went missing to try to get their camera because of all the people that were saying that they saw Kathy there. So I don't know how many places that they would have went to check cameras. And I don't know that the FBI was on it like that until there was a alleged sighting out of the state. I think that once that sighting in North Carolina took place, I think that that's what brought in the FBI. Because, once it goes across state lines, they have to be involved. They have to be involved. And I'm pretty sure it was right after that there was a $50,000 reward. I do know they went by this one neighborhood and checked a lot of cameras. Yeah, I know that they were checking a lot of cameras of the neighborhoods, but as far as the businesses and her route home, I don't think so. Only refer to the FBI paragraph where they state, I guess he made it home based on her dash cam and other cameras. It's so hard to know what was done in 10 days that also led them to a landfill. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's cool. Well, I think that the landfill, because the guy that was picking up the trash said that it was heavier than usual. But when you look at the photos of them searching for Sebastian or searching in the landfill, it doesn't appear that they're actually searching for a body. You know what I mean? It doesn't appear that they are searching for a body. They don't look like they're searching for a body anyway. Yeah, interstate travel does bring in anything having to do with that. Would bring them in. You know what I'm saying? It would definitely bring them in. So I don't know what they would have done as far as like the businesses. you know, checking the surveillance of the businesses because, yeah, some cameras may involve a search warrant as well. That's true. That is true. They also found a box of pictures. No, they did not. Let's get this one out of the way. So they did not find a box of pictures of Katie. Yeah, they didn't. There was a searcher that found a picture box and it had Katie's name on it. It had the name Katie, but all of those pictures that were in there had nothing to do with Katie. Had nothing to do with Katie at all. So it had to have been a coincidence that a box of pictures were found, but none of those pictures had anything of Katie in them. Nothing of her family. They were not related to Katie at all. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, girl mom. I just know that within a 3-mile radius, they asked for neighborhoods. They're looking for neighbors and neighborhoods. But as far as the businesses go, they didn't go to Worsham's until like 10 days to 2 weeks. Yeah, it was just that's a distraction. I mean, it wasn't a distraction planted because I know the girl that found it and she searched a lot. You know, she found a lot of things, but like I said, this water and Worsham's got a big ass creek behind it. So you know that when any floods happen, it pushes stuff. It'll push stuff up on land from a mile away. You know what I mean? That don't have anything to do with when Sebastian even went missing. But anyway, guys, my son is about to be here if he's not already pulling up in the driveway. And I may come back on later. It just depends. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me today. Thank you again for the super sticker. That $20 is more than appreciated. Y'all have no idea. Giving $1, giving your time, giving a like, giving a share, you know, it helps this channel grow. It really does. And I appreciate everybody. I love you guys. And I'm going to close this stream out with Sebastian's anthem. Y'all throw up some of those green hearts, all right? Peace out.
Clean like your soul, won't be forgotten. We stand strong for you, never give up. Seek justice and truth. Day and night we search. Community gathers, wipe the tears away. Rise up for you, Sebastian strong. Sebastian's army, we march on. Each day comes and goes, hope in our hearts. You're never alone, we'll bring you home. Wish it was a dream, babe. It lingers on, but strength we carry will keep you strong. Rise up for you, Sebastian strong. Sebastian's army, we march on. Each day comes and goes, hope in our hearts. You're never alone, we'll bring you home. Wish it was a dream, hey, it lingers on, but strength we carry will keep you strong. Rise